Quick, Mandee, throw some candy at them.
Oh no.
My candy,
so
no!
much fucking candy. Oh, hello, boys and cat. And turtle. Tortoise. Which
all
is
his.
fitting because Turtle Fest, home of the turtles and tortoises, it has just ended. And upon the ending of Turtle Fest, there was a great light in the sky. That light fell to Earth, not once, but twice, devastating the town of Turtle Bay that you were in, and unfortunately taking a great number of lives. In the process, however, some of those bodies became ingrained with otherworldly materials, bringing them back to life as walking corpses. It was at that time that those corpses began to attack the rest of the populace of the town of Turtle Bay. Unfortunately, while it was still falling apart and on fire, you guys, along with the Royal Guard of Ani and the local Bernian Knights, managed to stave off most of those zombies. Hello, cat. Fucking Una. And you
I think you
have.
mean Hello Kitty.
Oh God. And you guys have you guys have managed to stave these attackers off with minimal casualty and loss of life. You now stand amidst piles of corpses. The stones holding them together broken and shattered. There are pieces of these things all over the place, and you guys are there with Cyrena, and things begin to settle down. Now, most of the populace has taken refuge in the large cathedral near the top of a hill. The guards are gathering most people together so that they can get their shit going and so that they can start figuring all of this out. You, however, my friends, are lauded as heroes, as basically nobody but yourselves, the crown princess, and the people whose literal job it is to defend the populace from these sort of terrible things. Um, Nobody else helped. It was just you guys. And so you've got all these people that you were rescuing in the wagons, people that were running for their lives. That now they're kind of coming over and being like, "Oh my God! Like we can't believe you were here to help. You know, this is so great. This is amazing." And as you are being swarmed, well, not swarmed. There's not really all that many people there to swarm. But as you're being approached by a crowd of people, it is the onus is now on you. What do you guys want to do?
Mandy's just standing in the back right now with her leg up on one of the corpses like Captain Jack or something like that.
I want to do medical stuff. We got a lot of dying chumps in the field.
I want to
Okay.
analyze data from my flying companion, my
Okay.
homunculus.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna start
Very
working
well.
on making sure everybody is okay and get to those who need help more than anybody else.
Can I set up like a
Okay.
little medical like station?
Yeah, for sure. You definitely can. In fact, you kind of like mention that out loud, and Cyrena just yells at a couple of Anian guard, and they will take your point. So you direct them to do stuff. They'll set up a little tent and all that jazz.
Okay. I direct them to do like your typical warfare surgery bay. The guys who are already goners,
It's
fucking
like
kill them dead. The people
it's
that
like
can
an
maybe
easy
survive,
up.
bring them over.
It's like an easy up and some fucking like blankets.
Yeah, basically. Just a
I'm
place to lay the dead down.
I'm just hauling dead, I suppose.
When
All right. So Dandil just grabs a pitchfork. He's just shoving bodies on piles like cordwood.
Gather your dead. Gather your dead.
I won't pass out all my candy, but I'll take like half of my candy and walk around and give it to like the injured people after they get healed.
Okay, it's mostly children that take it from you. A couple of adults who seem a lot worse for wear. The kind of people who are just like, yeah, just anything to help right now. People. There's a lot of people who are missing limbs. There's people who have chunks torn out of them. Like,
Oh, let me add them.
there are
Man, these
people
poor people.
who. There are people you see that they have like rock-shaped imprints on their body, where it looks like some of these zombies had pulled pieces of that stone and it tried to force it into their bodies
Oh, brutal.
to kind of make them walking, living dead.
Oh, fuck. Hold on.
Yeah,
What? Can I roll medical to see if anybody's like infected?
yeah, you sure can. So I want you to make me 2 rolls. I want you to make me a perception check and a medical check.
Okay, I got a 22 on
Okay,
the
so
medicine,
22 medicine, 18%. Okay.
18 perception.
So most of the people that you find that have any kind of wound, the wound is basically recessed. There's nothing in it. You do find one guy who seems like he has a fever, and as you're searching him, you see under his shirt on the left-hand side, just like imprinted by where one of his ribs is or was, there is a stone, and pulsing out from that stone is just this eerie green sickly light and kind of black veins moving from it.
Oh
He
boy.
is still alive and aware, but there's no telling how long that will last.
Okay,
And like I said, there are black veins moving out from it.
I'm gonna give him the hard talk. I'm gonna let him know that he's a goner, but the best thing that he can do is let me euthanize him so we can you know dissect him and figure out what's going on. I'm gonna do it in,
Guys,
in
like,
very medical terms too.
I
The
want
kind
I want to see this role played out, please. I have to know how this sounds.
it just the guy's doctor, am I gonna make it?
oh boy, how would Julian Bashir do it? I'm going to be honest. No. In fact, if you're alive for much longer, you might turn into one of those. And I just broadly gesture at everything.
I,
Now you have two
I would like
options. We can kill you now, or we can wait until you turn. And I would strongly suggest you pick the first option. I'd say you've got
No,
a few minutes to make things right with the town folk.
absolutely not. Those things didn't seem aware, so definitely kill me after I've changed, please.
14 insight to know if Bashir's actually like telling him the truth.
So Julian, you got a 22 on
Yeah.
your medical. Um, whatever this is some sort of crazy infection. It's definitely some sort of magic because you can see that eerie pulse. Also, now upon thinking about it, you're not sure anybody else would be able to see those like magical pulses except for you folk, because you guys can see it. You guys can see
Okay.
the magic.
Do they
But
have like
I was gonna say, but it is kind of a localized infection at the moment. It hasn't quite moved to the mortis phase quite yet.
I was gonna say,
So
just don't kill him.
there is a chance that he can live.
I say, hold on a minute, all right. Since you put it that way, I think we might have a chance. But
I
we
will
need to
fight
start
back if
surgery
you try to
now.
kill me, doctor. I will fight back.
Understand, I understand. We'll find you the best anesthetic we can and perform surgery. I can't make any guarantees, but I can guarantee that I'll do my best to keep you alive.
At the mention of anesthetic, the doctor not the doctor, excuse me, the professor eyes the warhammer on the doctor's back.
What, you trying to trade my warhammer for the anesthetic?
Not trading you anything. I'm just imagining
I think
what
he's
sort of anesthetic
implying.
you've got. What's your
I think he's
anesthetic?
implying that a good
Condom?
thump
He
to
thinks-
the side of the head might put
he-
him out enough.
He
Some
thinks your
anesthesia.
warhammer
Like
is
that?
named Anastasia or
No.
Anesthesia.
Don't listen to that one. No.
I mean, we just give him a stick to bite on. I don't know. I think I have a medical kit. Do I get anything with that
Just
or
give
no?
him one of Taliesin's fingers. I'm sure he'll be fine.
You would have all sorts of different
No.
like medical herbs and shit like that. You could probably come
Okay,
up with
I
some
gotta-
sort of awful poultice to put on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and prioritize surgery on the half zombie. I figure this way we might have some answers.
Okay.
If I see
So
this happening, can I just look over at Tanizan and just be like, since you're like the god of vitality, can't you do something like help him?
Yeah,
Like,
like let
get
him bite down
better?
on your finger.
No, not that I'm aware of.
I mean, I can literally prevent death.
I'll tell you
but,
what.
uh,
Roll me an Arcana check,
case here.
Tanizan.
All right, give me
Oh,
one
my
second.
bad.
I'm trying to pull
Wait,
up my dice.
Are you telling me that he's gonna have to roll something?
I am.
Finally.
All right, you said an Arcana check, right? All right, you said an Arcana check, right?
I did.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Not bad.
Well, here's the deal. As far as you know, none of your powers affect other people. That being said, you are in fact, as at least as far as you know, the god of vitality. So you don't really know how your powers work. And you don't know what you can do. So
And I
There's
have
alwa-
stated multiple times that I am nothing special, so I still don't understand.
Are you
how
stating
I'm
this
special.
again?
But-
Because I have something to say if that's what you're saying.
but what I'm saying that you come to realize is there's always the chance that you can do something.
I mean, I don't even know how my powers work. I got shot, it didn't hurt very much. That's about the extent of what I know.
Tanizan, you still telling me that you think you're nothing special?
Yeah.
Are you so the God King is a liar? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm special in the way of, my birth, but like
He
don't-
he called out each and every one of us, that includes you, and you're still in denial. I think it's time that you start waking up. You've seen what's happening.
but
You've seen these corpses rise. You've seen the visions, and you've seen the comet. I think it's time for you to start thinking like a little god, okay? Instead of a little putz.
yeah, but I have
He's
no
at his
clue
Bob
what I
Nix
can
fights, at his
do.
brisk. He's a man now.
I have literally no idea what my powers are capable of. I don't
We'll
even know
never
how to
know
use them.
until
Well,
you
that's a step in
try.
the right direction. At least you're acknowledging that there's some power that you have. Before, you were in complete denial. And frankly, I'm getting a little kvetched about it. You know.
I can tell.
Tanizan, you will never know what you are capable of until you try.
Yeah, but
We
where
are
do I
all
even
in deep-
start? That's the problem.
Lay your hands upon him and invoke your divinity. I mean, we're all in deep water. We're all swimming and trying to keep our heads above what's happening right now. And trust me, and I'm looking very frazzled and just very like on edge, and I'm gripping the hilt of my trident with white knuckles, and I'm going, this is not the way I thought my life would be.
I don't
I mean,
think
I'm
this is
doing, like-
the life anybody thought it would be.
I'm doing like big boy surgery, and like anybody like touching or crowding the patient is gonna like irk me.
Meantime,
I'll allow it, but
I'd like to make a roll on something in the meantime.
Okay, what would you like to roll?
So the homunculus dragonfly has come returned, and while all this is going on, the professor is like paying some attention to it, but also he's basically like running his hands across the wings and like bending it, and as he bends it, you can see just a little bit of light like coming off of the wings, and as soon as he sees the light, the professor's like immediately like scribbling down in a journal, and anyone who peeks at the journal, you'd notice more just strings of math that to you might not look like much, but I'm collecting, if you recall, device, he collected, I was trying to collect like vector and velocity of the different,
Right.
just so that I can have some clue on where to go for these things. So that's what he's trying to write down and gather. FYI, should I roll for this?
Right. So make me an intelligence roll, just straight up down.
I must interpret the
That'll
data.
be a 19.
Okay. So what I can tell you is you can pick out basic directions for where these pieces went, but it's gonna be hard to pick out like exact locations. But you can definitely catch some basic directions, and so you can more or less uh, directionalize, and with the rate of travel and stuff, you can kind of figure velocity and stuff. So you might be able to figure general areas as to where some of these things might go.
Okay, cool. That's what I needed to hear.
So that's pretty damn good. All right, Julian, you begin to operate.
Yeah.
What? So you just
I'm gonna,
okay.
I'm going to try. I don't know how the hell this is going to work, but I'm going to try and use my divinity to help lessen the pain for the guy that's going under the knife with the rock.
Okay. Give me one sec. I just got to bring up a thing. Bookmark this. Bookmark that. Okay. So I want you to make me a roll, and that roll is going to be your divinity roll, which in your case is
Constitution?
Constitution plus your proficiency.
Okay.
Constitution modifier.
Yeah. I rolled an 8.
Okay. You do feel something well up. However, it doesn't get further than that. You feel it. You definitely feel that something could happen, but you don't get much further than I'm pretty sure I feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just gonna clear my throat.
There's definitely something in there to be going on. You just haven't figured out how to access it yet.
All right.
So he's like eyes closed, hyper focused, hands on this dude's shoulders. And then after a minute, just Julian is just like no noticeable change from the guy whatsoever, and then just fucking
Damn. Looks like I can't do shit. Fucking told you guys.
All right, I'm gonna get started trying to get this shit off of him.
Okay.
Man,
If
he's
it seems like it's too late, I'm just gonna put him down. But he doesn't need to know that because he's under the knife now.
But you definitely do feel some sort of spark there. I will give you that. Okay, Julian, this is what I want you to do. I want you to make
Riku,
me
look at the camera.
two medicine rolls.
nice.
The first one I want you to make is going to be for making your poultice. This is going to give you some sort of modifier depending on how good your anesthetic is.
Okay, so 2 medicine rolls.
So just one. Do one at first.
Oh, I did. Okay, the first one was a 9. I did 2,
Okay, so not very good.
no.
So okay.
These are
So
desperate times, though. I can't imagine I
not
have much.
not terrible, but not very good. So I'm gonna say you're gonna roll the next one at neutral. So long as somebody is willing to hold this guy down.
I mean, we got
I'll
guards
hold
and
him down.
goons. There you go.
Okay. Then in that case, Tanizan, I want you to make me a strength check. Fuck, I keep forgetting I need dice to do things.
Uh, 21.
Okay. Julian, feel free. Make me a roll, no modifiers.
Medicine.
Yeah.
13.
Okay. This is what you notice. You notice that once inserted into this man's body, this stone started growing. He was pierced in between 2 of his ribs on the left-hand side,
That's
and it
bad.
grew into and expanded out beneath the ribs. It grew between the ribs and then out. That means there's only 2 options to get this stone out. Option 1, you break his ribs and you pull it out. Option 2, you break the stone and then you pull it out. They both come with their own share of danger. In one case, you can really fuck this guy's ribs up. In the other case, if you shatter this and don't get all the pieces out, who knows?
Okay, so removing ribs is, at least nowadays, a fairly, I won't say common, but it's a medical procedure that people get done. And I imagine in ye old times, they would just cut them out with a bone saw. Now, obviously, I
Well,
don't have that in my med kit.
you don't have to like take them out completely, but like
I should, right? If there's like
you
evil
gotta bust
tendrils,
them. You gotta bust them like
out.
enough to get the thing out. Yeah, that's for sure.
Did you describe these stones as the same things as the seeker stones, or were these different?
No, these are different. These are almost like moss agate. Have you ever seen that? Moss agate's like a
Probably, but I
green,
can't think of it.
semi-translucent stone. These just happen to glow as well.
I mean, okay, how about this? I don't know if Julian would understand this, but like metals and stones have a hardness rating. I could take something like a dagger and see if it leaves a scrape on the stone. I'm
Okay.
thinking I might be able to rip the whole motherfucker out without shattering it using the appropriate tools. So if we try to do weird stuff with the ribs, he's just gonna die.
There's also, you may also be able to spread the ribs enough. It's going to cause excruciating pain.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the good anesthetic. I mean, it's looking like putting them down is the option here. That or get something like pliers and try to pull it out, but I don't know how brittle the stone is.
Right. So make me a strength check and see
Can
You know,
I
one of
give
the
him a hand and try to part the ribs a little bit more?
you're just gonna reach into the gentleman and just start spreading.
I mean, not.
That's what they do in trauma surgeries.
Yeah, they literally have other people open them up. So I can try and pull apart the ribs without them breaking. It's gonna hurt like fucking hell, but at least
Yeah.
the stone's gonna get out.
Well, who cares if the ribs break?
Okay. Make me a strength check and make me a dexterity check.
Want me to do that, or do you want?
No, I'm gonna have
Tanizan do that?
Tanizan do that because he's the one doing the actual spreading.
Okay, so I
As
got.
as he's doing that though,
I thought he was holding
flick,
them down.
as Tannisson's doing that, I flick a little earwig onto the back of his neck, and it just crawls up his neckline, and then just sits right on the top of his ear like that.
Just does the like Bluetooth
Yep.
fucking.
So I got a 16 and a 12.
And add a 1d4.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, let me do that real quick.
While this is happening, Professor is going over his notes while penning new notes.
Okay, so
Madly writing math
18,
in my notebook.
18 and 15.
Okay. And while this is happening, what are the other three of you doing? Dandil, you said you were stacking bodies. Mandee, I don't assume you're posing for the entire time.
No,
I'm
I was
just
passing out
burn
candy.
bodies now.
That's true. So you're basically calming people down, taking care of people. Okay. And then Zillowin, what do you have going on? Or the grits?
Just watching.
Okay.
Like, there's really nowhere for me to be, nothing for me to do. I just like, I don't know, less than 20 minutes ago, I was at the bottom of the pile of zombies falling off a horse. So I'm just sitting there watching as they're operating on this man, and I'm just kind of thinking, why don't we just like kill him? Like,
that
what is
was
the
also
My first suggestion.
what is the purpose of this? Like, I'm sitting here watching this, and I'm just trying to figure out why they're trying so hard as I look around and see all the other dead bodies.
well, as you were the person who was like, "Yo, we killed those bandits. We didn't need to kill those bandits."
That
You
wasn't me, though.
probably would have the thought of like, you know, a life is a life, I would imagine. But yeah, I would think you'd probably be like, you know, we could probably just save ourselves the trouble.
I mean, Zillowin once, yes, thought a life was precious, but he's now standing in the middle of a massacre.
That's true. But when is life more precious than when a lot of life has been taken? That being said, the man screams, and it is a scream like you have never heard. It echoes across the battlefield, across the entire town. People stop and turn, and they look. I need the good doctor to make me a dexterity check to get this fucking thing out because he will only be able to hold these ribs open for so long.
Got an 18.
Oh, very nice. Yokshamash.
I
Okay.
laugh.
With an 18, you manage to reach in, and just before his strength gives out, you manage to pull this stone. This stone, at the moment, when you pull it out, it is still growing.
Oh, but it's
When you
probably
pull,
only the tendrils that I can see, I'm guessing.
when you pull it out, it's soaked with blood, but the blood is being absorbed into the stone.
Oh.
As it absorbs the blood, it is growing. And you can see kind of etched into the stone as it had grown were the shapes of the ribs.
Oh, that's
So
fucked.
it was like molding itself underneath of his
Oh wow,
bone.
we saved his life by pulling his ribs apart. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's good to know.
In fact,
we might still not live.
you
But
you
I
you
think he'll
pull
live.
you check the stone and you don't see too many defects. So there's a good chance that no chips or anything were taken out, and the stone does seem fairly hard. So there's a good chance that there weren't any remnants left inside of him.
okay,
But
there's no
and you
evidence that
don't
it cracked off.
right, and you don't see anything. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing.
Okay, well, um, gosh, I might just flip a coin here, whether or not I'm a softie.
At this point, if you've ever seen somebody after exerting themselves physically, like an insane amount, how head to toe they're completely drenched in like thick,
Yeah.
like oily, greasy sweat. That is what
So
this man looks like.
I think from a role play perspective, he would be conflicted. He would really want to like perform and finish his surgery, but he also knows this guy just went through literal hell, and it might just be good enough, leave good enough.
It does seem like he's probably going to go into shock in a second anyway.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
So
flip 2 coins.
yeah,
If I flip heads twice in a row, we're gonna keep going. And if I don't flip heads twice in a row, then we're gonna leave good enough, and we're gonna try to patch him up.
fair.
First roll is the tails. We're gonna patch him up.
All right, so you patch him up. Now, upon patching him up, he is open enough to where you can see at least some of the ribs. They are cracked. Whether it was from Tanizan pulling them apart or whether it was from the stone growing inside and pushing them apart, you don't know.
There isn't
But
jack dick he can do about cracked ribs from a
he's
medical standpoint.
there's really not. There's really not. The best you can do is probably give him something
Lie him
and
down. Yeah.
yeah, tell him to fucking chill for like a few
Gonna have
months.
a big shit bullet for like the rest of his life. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know if that's the role to patch him up or what, but I'm done with this
Right.
guy.
Well, I will say, based on your previous rolls, you're good to go. Suturing is basically pretty simple as far as everything else that you've done here today. So you managed to patch this guy up, and they take him over to a place where he can rest. This guy's fucked, by the way. He is out and not like he's like passed out and probably in shock.
I mean, let's
So
prioritize on the details of what's important here. The guy, I really didn't care if he lived or not. Just let's just be
right.
real. But the thing is we need to figure out what the fuck the stone is. So is there like some like big dick mage or artificer, some kind of guy who would know what the fuck this thing is or have an
Okay.
idea of how to deal with this? Because we need to give that to him, especially while it's like growing and sucking in blood and like doing
Okay.
active things.
So as far as magic goes, the most knowledgeable and powerful person when it came to magic just exploded into a billion pieces.
Bummer.
The next most powerful, at least in this area, would be the six of you.
Oh man, I was gonna say send the professor with the next guy in charge.
This
and
is
Because-
this is all of our puzzles to solve. This is not something that one person alone can do.
Because
Doctor?
remember, magic is only now coming back into play, and it's only
Oh,
because of
man.
you guys.
Okay, so
Now,
I'm gonna
you
direct the
were
professor toward it.
you were going to go to River Run, which is north through the Ironwood, and you were going to meet somebody who was a little more knowledgeable in magic, who was alive when it was going on.
That's what I
That's
was
the
gonna
Actually,
only
that is
yeah,
probably
that's the only lead you
I
have.
woke up to the doctor with a burlap sack I found on the bag, and I just gesture for the rock, and I go, "We should take this with us to Tenoth."
I completely agree. The thing I'm worried about, when they transfer organs and medical stuff, It's got to be like absolute zero and like super sanitary. This thing is like still sucking in blood, right? And
Also,
giving
the
off evil
question is,
tingles.
if this thing is sucking in the blood, then what if the testicle eats the sect? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, completely. And the other thing I'm suggesting is we do a suddenly see more here and keep it virulent and alive until an expert can look at it. We don't
You
need
willing
this
to
bone.
sacrifice some blood?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of dead goons
How about we
around
give
that
it
died
some
from
of
being
the? How about
zombies.
we give it some of the healthy boy?
Like we need it. We need like a
Let's give it
living...
drips from the healthy boy.
We could. I won't say attached to vitality, man, but we're starting a good idea here. I completely agree. We need to transfer the stone. I think we have to do it in such a way that it stays alive.
We are aligned. We are aligned in this. Let's go get him.
So Zillowin, you find that bag. It's kind of burned. It's a little dirty, but in the same kind of area, you also find like a just like a shitty box. You find like a basket, a couple of other things. You know what I mean? Just some basic containers, a pot. You know what I mean? And
I'll pretty
so
much
you have
pick them all up
you have
and
a
carry
few
'em.
options. Yeah. So he comes over to you with an assortment of containers. Like a clay pot, a wooden box.
Just Russian doll it. Just
couple
Russian
things,
doll it.
yeah.
Put it inside of each one and make a giant turducken and take it to the vitality boy.
So it's like a clay pot inside of a box, inside of a barrel with a burlap sack wrapped around it.
I don't do that. I just kind of look at him and I go, that makes no sense. And I look at the doctor and I go, which container do you think this should go into?
Yeah, so
that's a
calls
great
on you,
question.
Julian.
That's
So
a
those
really
are
good
your
question.
options. You have a small barrel, you have a wooden box, a burlap sack, and a clay pot with a lid.
How big is the stone?
Just start small.
About the size of a human heart.
Okay. The ceramic lid, is it big enough to fit it?
Yes.
I say we put it in there with some either dead or dying guy's blood.
Hey, it's already had some. Let's see what happens from here. Let's just wait. Just wait. See if it stops growing. That's what we want
I
to know.
look at the guy who's kind of bleeding out at your feet while you're patching him up, and I go, should we just put some of that blood in here?
It has already drank that blood. I don't think that's a bad idea. If he's just gonna lose it anyways. I mean, we're sitting on
Am I the only one
we might as well
against
take some.
stopping giving this thing more biological material? Just stop. Just hold on. See what happens from here. Just hold on. My God, you're so desperate to feed this thing already.
Maybe we just take a vial of his blood then. If it's just gonna be falling on the floor anyway, take a vial in case we have to wake it up or something. I don't know.
Well,
So
just
guys
vial
finish
for medical
putting the
testing.
bodies away. Oh God, what's happening here?
Yeah, exactly. I take a vial of his blood for health reasons. We put it in the sack and we're on our way. I'm gonna move on to the next patient now. Yes,
I've got to run some tests.
I'm not trying to argue with you, Professor. I'm basically just, the doctor said we needed to feed it. I figured he would know.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I think that's what we do. We play it off as
yeah.
To see if there's any more magic juice in there, and I'm gonna take your blood.
What the fuck do I know about knowing anything? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I won't feed it though. I'll just get a little.
I don't know.
What's
the
going
most
on
ironic
here?
The most ironic saying that the God of Wisdom can have is I don't know, or God of Knowledge. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Who am I?
Know, the less you know.
I put my hand on the professor's shoulder and I go, you know a lot. But as my grandfather used to say, it's only when we realize we don't know everything.
No one likes a know-it-all, Zillowin. And he walks away.
Again, says the God of Knowledge. Okay. So from this point forward, you guys, that was the most severely injured person. From here, it's a lot of battlefield medic kind of shit.
Just boo-boos and kisses, or we got some dying people?
No. Like, you lose some people, you save some people.
Okay.
Can
some
I
people
gather up
lose limbs.
Can I basically follow behind him and gather up like bloody rags and stuff like that and put them in the burlap sack?
That's fine.
I will be the one who I'll volunteer to deliver the. Did you put it in a clay pot? You said.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we Zelda'd it.
Yeah, he put
The
it in
heart in the
a
pot.
clay,
Who's holding on to it?
and
I
then
have it.
he took a vial of blood, and that vial
Right.
of blood
Zillowin,
is
you're gonna keep it.
I'm just carrying it
I
right now,
think
Professor. If you
I
want
think
it,
that's no. I think that's a fair idea, especially considering how Tanizan was already holding that other object that you and I both know is a lot of fun to touch. So I think it's a good thing that we spread the weird magic around. Not everyone, not one person should be holding on to all of the magic. Do you see where I'm going with this?
right? But I thought Tanison was going to feed it his blood.
eventually.
Oh, I
Maybe.
mean, we'll get that out of Tanizan later. Don't worry.
Well, I also collected a bunch of bloody rags, so if we need to, we can kind of like. I figure we can wrap the stone in the
All
rag
right.
and it will
But what I
feed
was
off of
telling you
it.
was cool your jets on trying to feed this thing. Let's just see what happens first. If you don't feed it,
I lean into the professor though, and I look him dead in the
thing
eye.
speaking to you? Is it whispering to you in your ear, Zillowin? Because
No,
this
I
is
just
very, very difficult to understand behavior. I don't
you're
understand.
kind of short, right? So I like lean down, and I
Very
look at
short.
you, look into your eyes, and because I'm very tall, lean down, looking at you, I go, but aren't you just a little curious?
And I grab your collar and I pull you down to me. Zillowin, is this fucking thing talking to you?
GM, is it talking to me?
No,
Hey, bud.
not yet.
I just like it reminds me of the corals, like the reefs, and how they would some of them would like lash out and consume fish, and I just like a lot of people don't know, but coral reefs are actually alive and they breathe and they feed.
All right, I accept your premise that you might be feeding this thing under one caveat, and I want you to trust me on this. Recognize that the source of where this thing came from was presumably one of the primal gods that wants us all dead. So just be careful what you feed, okay? Remember what it is you feed. I mean,
I think about it like for a second. I look at you and I'm just like, I hear you. I'll be careful.
thank you. That's all I need. I just needed you to
I
hear
trust
me.
your judgment.
Well, and I trust you. So carry
Then
on.
GM,
carry
I
on.
immediately walk away and I want to like pull out the rock. I want to take one of the bloody rags, and I'm just gonna wrap it in my hand, just kind of reach in and grab the rock as I'm like 20 feet away from him, just
Jesus.
as he's like writing in the journal. I just want to see what happens as I do this.
Okay. This is what happens. As soon as the rag touches this thing, I want you to make me a dexterity check because this is a bloody, soaked rag. I want you to make me a dexterity check
About to lose your hand, boy.
or save, whichever is better is fine.
I got a 10.
Okay, that was enough. You feel the spike as it begins to pierce through the rag, and you just let go. And as you do, you see a number of spikes pierce through the rag. And have you ever seen really, really, really cold water or ice? And then when people pour water on it, it just kind of builds. It's like that, but instead of just pouring on top of it, it's absorbing the blood and growing.
Okay,
And
so is it now too big for the pot?
it's probably too big to get out of the pot unless you bust some of these spikes off of it.
Professor, if I could have a moment, it seems to have
No,
gotten
he
bigger.
already walked away. He walked the fuck away from
Professor!
you crazy little shit. Take it somewhere else.
Professor, it got bigger. Professor.
He's gone. You can't find him. He's gone. Professor's gone by now.
It's been a few seconds.
The
but
professor literally said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Dandil,
turn around
come
and he's
take a
just
look at
like,
this.
he's just like noping the fuck out of here.
All right, so how does the patient look after being stitched up and having this thing removed from him?
He's not in a great way, but he definitely looks better than before.
Who cares about the
Um,
patient? What
You
down
know,
on
it-
him?
The doctor should.
My job's done.
Doctor,
I'm the one that whipped the shit out of him.
Doctor, what's going on here? What are you
My
doing to
job's
the
over.
patient?
What? Who? I'm turning to
Yeah,
primate. What? Who?
he basically,
On to the next patient.
you know,
We
the
got
only
switched
thing
to
you
the
can
other
do
dudes,
for
huh?
him at this point is make him comfortable. You know what I mean?
Feeling Bashir,
I
he's in
try
the
and
full
help
battle
him.
medic mode.
I try and help him get a little more comfortable, and I apologize for splitting his ribs like that.
He doesn't answer because he is fucking out.
Oh, I know
Whether
he
he's
is.
in-
I'm still apologizing
Yeah,
because
whether
that
he's
shit's
in
gotta
shock-
hurt.
Whether he's in shock or whether he is just fucking, I don't know, just
What-
out from the pain, it's hard to tell.
Was this guy
But-
previously like one of the Walking Dead and then he recovered, or was he never one of
No. He was
Never
just a dude who got stabbed with a spike of rock, and then it started growing inside of him, and it never got quite to the point where it killed him, so he didn't become a thing.
Okay, so then we can
but-
deduce that he's the result of having not been killed by the shards.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that tells us a lot about what would have happened then. Yeah.
Right, and we know we have a live shard sample.
Yeah. So
we
stop
definitely know it's
feeding
live now.
it.
So it's, Anyways, you want me to roll for any of the other dead or dying people? I'm in full battle medic mode. Dude, the first guy's just one of many, you know what I mean? He's just a number to
yeah.
me. I don't care if he lives or dies.
Just roll me 3 more medicine checks, and then we'll see kind of how you do for the rest of them.
Oh,
During
they're all
this
really
period-
bad. They're all really
during-
bad.
During this period, if no one is going to stop me, I'm going to put the jar into the crate, and I'm just gonna like squeeze some of the blood rags out on it, and I want to see if it's going to like grow to a point where it shatters the jar.
You definitely start hearing some scraping and some a little bit of a crack as some of the shard spikes are now they're so long that they're scraping up against the side of the pot. If you keep going, eventually it will be so big that it will break this pot.
That's what I want to do. I want it to break the pot.
What?
Okay, it takes the rest of your bloody rags, but you managed to get it to shatter the pot. This thing is fucking huge now, by the way. This
Well,
thing
I put it
is
inside the crate, so it's like
right. So it is now. So it was about this big, right? About the size of a fist. It is now about
The
that
size
big.
of
So
the size of a basketball.
Pumpkin.
a little bit bigger than that, yeah.
Okay.
But with like some jagged edges and spikes and such jutting out from it. It's not like a perfect sphere or anything,
Looks like a kidney
but
stone.
yeah, kind of, yeah. In fact, that's a really good that's a really good analogy for what this thing is. And
I would
it's
hate to pass that kidney stone.
it's the
Jesus
Earth's
Christ.
kidney stone. And yeah, so now you have shattered pieces of
Damn.
terracotta inside of this fucking crate that is full of. You doubt you could lift it anymore. It looks really fucking heavy.
Oh man, how are we supposed to haul this to the guy now?
Well, it's in
We have a
the
wagon.
fucking wagon,
Okay.
so
Okay, so it got bigger enough to break the pot. Does
Right.
it have any type of like definition or any type of like does it look like it's growing legs or arms or anything like that?
no. It's It's crystallized, so it's got like crystally bits coming out of it. It's roughly spheroid, but it's got mostly like juts and shards coming off of it.
Tanizan, can I get your assistance for a second?
What's going on? What did you do?
I made it bigger. Can you hit
Why?
it and see if we can break? We have to figure out what this is.
Why
That's how
did
you
you
figure
make
things
it?
out.
How did you make it bigger?
I fed it blood. Now, if you could hit it, I just want to see if we can
Dear
break it.
So casual.
gods. Oh my dear us. All right, so I'm gonna
I fucking love how that played out too. By the way,
I'm just gonna point
That was
out my
great.
character's 17.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my sword, and I'm going to get above it, and then from above, I'm going to try and shove my sword through it.
Okay. Make me an attack roll.
I was busting the rocks open when we were fighting the zombies.
Yeah, but we're trying
yeah,
true.
to
Mandy's
save
already been here, done that. She's already moved along. Look how far
They're
behind
not.
you are.
20.
They're definitely not like titanium. They're definitely stones.
Yeah.
They are breakable for sure.
I got a dirty 20.
They're like gems, but they're still
I got a dirty 20.
hard-ish. Okay. Roll me damage then.
Eight.
Okay, 8 is enough, and it it cracks into several pieces. Some of them, most of those pieces, for the most part, all of the relatively clean pieces on the bottom, they don't emit a glow. But all of the pieces on the top, where he had like just tossed the rags and where they had very recently absorbed the blood, they still glow. So now you have a pile of shards of this stone.
Okay. I would like to do one more thing if I can.
Okay, cuts his wrist.
Actually, kind of. You actually do. I do want to take the point of my trident and kind of stab my palm, and I want to pour a little bit of my fresh blood over
Can
the
I
glowing
quickly
bit.
grab his
What
hand
the?
and make sure his blood does not touch the fucking rock?
Oh lord. Okay. Dex
Is he
check.
pouring the blood over the sword on the rock?
No, he's
No,
pouring
no, no. Like after he takes the sword out, he like punctures his fucking
I
hand,
want
and
to
then he
see.
does.
I want to see if. Well, I'll puncture my hand while he's breaking it. So I'll just pour it over afterward, because I just want to see if the glowing rock is going to reconnect to the dead rock. So I want to try and get a little bit of blood on both.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah,
Okay.
I am going to try and stop him from doing this.
Okay. So I want you to. All right. Tanizan, roll me a perception check first.
Okay.
Actually, no. What's your passive perception? Because you wouldn't be actively looking out for this. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. So you can roll a dex check at disadvantage. Zillowin, you can make me a dex check
Oh,
at
good.
advantage.
I got 17 twice. So, Dex, that is 19.
Okay. Well, you get to roll at
There's
advantage.
that one chance to get
Zillowin.
rid of him.
I got a 12.
With advantage.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
low roll.
Well, in a move that surprises no one, Tanizan ruins somebody's fun. And you go to move your hand over to the crate, and he just like grabs your wrist. He's like, no.
What are you doing? Why are you grabbing
What
that?
are you doing? We already know this thing grows with blood. Why are you feeding it more?
Because I'm trying to see what it does. I'm trying to see if it reconnects to its old self.
But why? We don't need to know this information. It is
Because
not
maybe we
pertinent.
need to go around and collect all the other pieces so that they don't grow and like seedlings become an issue later.
I mean, they grow through blood, so unless people are bleeding all over them, I don't know if it's a problem.
I kind of wave at the battlefield around
think-
us.
I think people are bleeding all over them right now. I mean, that's a fair point.
And if they can grow and reconnect, then we need to know that.
Fine, fine. I let go of his hand.
Okay. When you do this with fresh blood, two things happen. One, a little bit of blood gets on one of the glowing bits. It does the same thing where it kind of spikes out just a touch because you're not like coating it, you're just putting a couple drops on it.
Yeah.
The other thing is in the kind of specific area where you get it on one of the non-glowy shards, a little bit of that glow comes back.
Professor, as I jump down off the fucking wagon and start pell-mell looking for the professor, screaming his name.
As he starts looking for the professor, I'm gonna go ahead and help because
Uh,
if he's acting that way, this is bad.
And
real
as-
quick. Roll me a perception check as well, Zillowin, since you're actively looking in there. Because
Take a
there
push
may
quick.
be there may be something else that you may or may not see.
Not great, got an 11.
That is enough to notice. Okay. While the fresh blood that comes straight from your hand leaks onto these, and a little bit of glow comes back into the shard, eventually it goes away. And while the other shard kind of spikes out a little bit, you notice that as some of this other blood that was on the rags, some of that blood is still there. And you notice that it's blood that's coagulating a little bit. So you can safely assume that blood is dead. And the shards are no longer absorbing that blood.
Okay, well, I'm still gonna go look for the professor.
Fair enough. I just thought you should be armed with as much knowledge as you can.
Understood.
All right.
Do I need a roll to find you, professor, or are you visible?
I think he's probably still tooling around with his info, tracking shit out. Yeah.
That's fair, yeah, because the other answer was way too Bugs Bunny. So just yeah.
Oh, do we
walked away and
still have the earwig thing? Like, can we contact each other, or?
that's not for you. That's for me. That's for me to
Oh,
give
okay.
to you or to
I
someone
remember
else.
you
Yeah.
gave a. I remember you gave us something.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
felt a
those
little
are
tickle behind
for.
your ear and you remembered your professor. Very good. You're remembering your math skills, your arithmetic. I'm very proud of you. Very logical, this one.
Professor, stop. I was experimenting. I know you said not to, but I just there
And
was
what
something
did we
about
learn? What did we learn?
we need to collect the
What
rocks.
did
They
we
can be
learn first? What did we learn?
science. Like, fuck around, find out. But no, we need to collect the rocks.
That's a good way
They
of
can be
putting that.
rejuvenated. They can be regrown. They can be rejuvenated with fresh blood.
What do
not
you
just
want to
anything,
do?
but
What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with
we
this?
need to get the guards, and we need to get somebody with armor, and we need to start collecting all the rocks. These are seeds. They reminded me of fish eggs. They reminded me of this parasitic fish egg that would get on the fish, and it would eat the fish's brain, and we had to be careful because it would contaminate the. We need to find them.
All right. If you want to do this, then I'll back you up. Then you sound like you know what you're talking about. And frankly, I'm not quite sure, but you sound very sure. So let's go.
Okay. So you guys head out. And you start talking to some guards, and one of them just suggests burning as many bodies as you can.
Not a bad idea.
Hopefully, get rid of it.
Will
Conveniently,
fire kill the rock?
If it doesn't, it's still a good way to collect them.
fair enough. Yeah. Conveniently, you find a relatively strong-looking young halfling wearing bone armor, and he is chucking bodies on top of each other into a big ass pile, and as he has been doing for about an hour or so. And Dandil is just dragging a dude by his foot, just like a full-sized man, swinging him around and tossing him on the pile.
Let me guess, the baby owl is
I'll
like
do it.
pecking at the other side, right?
Probably trying to eat
No,
all the
that-
other corpses.
There was
Professor,
quite a
the
bit of
bodies aren't going to be an
excitement.
issue. The dead bodies aren't going to be an issue. It doesn't seem to want to feed off dead blood.
All right, now set them all on fire. I'm just gonna proceed to start make like a ball, like a huge ass pyre of just like dead dudes.
I mean, that's the best way to get rid of them. Oh,
Fair.
that's something that I want to do. I do
Is
want
anyone-
to try and burn one of the rocks to see what happens.
So right in the middle of the town square, by the way, right where all of the revelry was centered, Dandil has a pile of bodies a good 10 feet high or so,
Jesus.
and maybe twice that big
A
around.
lot of firewood.
Yeah, and he's just like stacking broken bits of lumber around.
He's had a lot of practice hauling wood.
Yeah, be hauling wood.
Jesus.
Off to the side, just a bit of ways
What, he helped
in
me make a boat not that long ago.
in a bit of a
Uh-huh.
clearing. You see face down a little owl just passed the fuck out. There was a lot of excitement, and
Oh, that
Everett
poor
is
little
just
guy.
fucking done. I mean, he tends to sleep a whole lot, and it is, it's usually his awake time because it's nighttime right now. But he is fucking out because he was very excited. And he's a baby boy. So you guys approach Dandil in his fervor of stacking bodies.
Oh god, that's a lot of bodies.
Good job, Daniel. We need to burn these. We need to burn these, and we need to collect the whatever stones they're in there because they can be rejuvenated by fresh blood.
Oh,
But
well, yeah.
has anybody been complaining about like what you're doing? Because these are people's family members.
Not really. I was just gonna burn them because there's a lot, and
So
Yeah.
to that point, most of the people are still in that little citadel up there, and most of the people that are out here are like the guards and the knights, and they
The
seem to
dead.
think this is just fine of an idea. As to these people were walking around a minute ago, and some of them didn't have complete bodies, so they're like, "Yeah, light those fuckers up."
I'm gonna walk over to one
Let's
of
set this
the
bitch
guards
on fire.
and just go. You need to take your armaments and you need to start scouring the ground for any of the remains of this rock because it can be rejuvenated with fresh blood.
Rocks? We're looking for rocks right now?
The
And,
the agates.
The
The-
what now?
The the guard that you talked to, he says that's actually very strange now that you mention it. We've yet to find any of these stones outside of a body.
Yeah, I really
all-
want to set
all
one of
of-
these things on fire to see what happens to it. But
I don't think I'm smart enough to
think-
put that together, so I'm just gonna look over at the professor.
Oh, no.
It means take the bodies to the pile right now. The rocks are inside them. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Take the bodies. Go. I'm like literally pushing Zillowin to go and like haul the bodies because the
Yes,
professor's
I will
refusing to get
help.
anywhere near them.
You guys have like interrupted Dandil's striking of flint to steel, and then he's just like, "Oh, we're in a hurry."
Toss them on the pile. Go.
All right,
Hey,
fine.
anyone-
I was
has
about
anyone
to
seen
do it
Mandee?
anyway.
now?
Okay, I'll do it.
Has anyone seen Mandee?
I think Mandee
She all
got,
of a
like,
sudden just appears right
Mandee
next
got
to you.
shuffled back to the Citadel to like babysit a bunch of kids.
Oh, cool.
I was wondering what happened with my medical rolls like 10 minutes
That's
ago,
good.
but that's okay. I figured I killed
Um,
everybody.
So no. Sorry, there was a lot of
Jesus.
excitement.
Sorry, I thought you said they were
Uh,
all low. My apologies. I wasn't trying to
You
trample you.
there was a 10, a 7, and a 10, if I recall.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask if I had advantage on that. I know I have proficiency. I don't know
You
if that helps at
do.
all.
Well, you get to add your proficiency bonus
Oh, I don't know what
So
that means, but I just clicked the button
It's-
3 times.
it should be added in already.
Okay. Then I rolled really
so
shitty 3 times. That's what happened.
You sure did. You sure did. But luckily, 10 is enough to stabilize people. So more. So we'll say 66% of the people you either take care of enough for them to be okay, or you might have to remove a limb or something. But you get people to the point where they will live.
All right,
They
D's
will
get
be.
degrees. D's get
They
degrees.
will
I'll
be
fucking get down with that.
okay. But 30-ish% of the people, a good 1/3, don't make it.
Well, would have been a lot less than 1/3 if there was no
You
medical professionals in here, so I'm okay
you
with that.
definitely find a couple of other people that should probably be chucked on the pyre. You find some
Yeah.
people with shards in them that just
I tell the
aren't
guards
gonna
to do
make
that.
it.
Well, all right, Preston, go jump in the fire right now, I suppose.
Is it already on fire?
We'll say that Dandil's proficient enough to start a fire, so he gets one going, and
Tell the
it's starting
guards.
to spread.
I want to listen to see if I can hear anyone screaming in the fire.
That's pretty morbid,
Roll me a
man.
perception check.
8.
No, you don't hear anybody screaming.
Okay. Okay.
You really don't hear much of anything other than the crackle of the fire. If anybody
And
else would like to roll a perception check, you may do that as well.
So you're telling us there's a possibility that somebody's alive in there.
Oh, that they're doing it into zombies mid-fire, yeah.
I can just imagine
That would
Dandil is like
suck so
dragging a
much.
live dude. No. Wait. Come on, mister. You gotta go into the bonfire.
I got a 19 on my perception.
Your face is gone. It's time to go into the fire.
Oh,
You got a
Jesus.
19.
Yes, sir.
You do hear some loud cracks and pops that are not fire. They sound like glass shattering almost.
That's the stones.
Okay. So I'm gonna put on a metal gauntlet, and I'm going to take one of the glowing shards from the crate, and standing on the edge of the pyre, I'm gonna toss it into the fire, and watch what happens.
Okay, this thing is still covered in blood when you throw it in. The first thing that happens is the fire eats away at the blood. The second thing that happens is the stone gets a bit charred. And the last thing that happens is the stone seems to get very brittle and then it shatters.
Okay, so a good way to kill these things would be with fire.
It would seem the faster they dry out, the quicker they die, I guess.
They get more
Professor,
brittle.
I got some information for you.
Either that or you're
Why?
making millions of them.
Fire, or at least drying out the stones, looks like it destroys them.
Well, then by all means, light that son of a bitch up.
Well, this is
Yeah,
for
after-
future information, for like future
Yeah.
use in case we run into this
Yeah,
shit
if
again.
we find them again, the professor's jotting notes as he's telling us.
So after a little bit of time, the bonfire is going at full capacity, and it fucking stinks. It stinks. If you've ever smelled burning pig, that's what it smells like. It's fucking gross. And it smells like that for a long time because
Long
bodies
fart.
take a long time to burn.
I'm going to dispose of the rest of the stone from the box, except for a small piece, and I'll put that into the basket and set that back in the cart with the
Okay,
burlap sack
inside
over
of the
it.
Gotcha. Okay, so you get a shard about yay big, like a sliver of a shard, and you keep that in the basket. Everything else gets thrown on the fire, tossed in the pyre. It shatters. Does anybody have anything else to do that night?
Not off the top
Okay.
of my
I'm
head.
continue burning bodies.
Yeah, other than helping
Um,
to dispose of the dead.
I'm
Just
ill from the smell. I go seeking Mandee.
I
Okay,
think I'm
so-
gonna get drunk as fuck after like killing maybe 10 or so people. I don't know how many people I fucked with, but
fair enough. Yeah.
I'll continue helping Dandil with the bodies.
So after a while, yeah, you guys
hope
eventually
somebody
have to
buys me a drink.
eventually you guys have to stoke the fire, you know what I mean? Which just means like poking
more than a
bodies
dude.
Around.
poking bodies with
What?
sticks and
Okay,
shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll
Um,
my
Can I use
constitution
Eldritch
to see if
Blast?
I throw up.
and I will point out there is also a thick viscous goo that begins to seep on the ground. That is the rendered fat of 100 bodies.
I'd make a nice soup out of that.
Instead of
Somebody
cooking it
could
with
for sure.
Doctor,
instead of smoking
Okay, so
cooking a pile of corpses, can I just use Eldritch Blast considering it's like necrotic force damage?
It's
Are you trying to splatter everyone with it? What are you doing?
that's kind of what would happen. Yeah, it's almost like punching a bloated corpse. Yeah, it's just gonna splash everywhere.
So I got a 17 on my
I guess
constitution
I'm gonna
roll,
learn
so
the
I
hard way
don't
then.
throw up.
So yeah,
Oh Jesus Christ!
a couple hours into the
Do
night,
it.
Zillowin's just like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this'll help everything go along the way. And he does the finger gun, and then it's almost comedic. And a couple seconds later, he just turns around like,
That's
oh,
nasty.
I tasted it.
How you feeling there, Zillowin?
I
And
think I need to go take a swim.
And for a second, you
Yeah.
freak out. You freak out really bad because there's a hard chunk that kind of gets lodged in the back of your throat, and you're like, "Fuck! It's one of the
Oh,
stones. I'm gonna
no.
die." And after
The job
coughing a
actually
couple
dry. He didn't shut
times,
the fuck up.
It's a bit of bone.
it's a little shard of bone, yeah, that was lodged. And
Oh,
so
so gross.
so as disgusting as that is, you're at least not infected with fucking zombie
I
stone.
should have had my mouth closed. I don't know why I didn't.
You walk into the mountain of dicks. And you
I
touch
thought
the
breathing.
walls made of dicks.
I thought
and it all
breathing
smells
through
like
my mouth.
bleach.
I thought breathing through my mouth. I thought breathing through my mouth would be better because of this mouth.
Yeah, you learned better this time, didn't you?
I'm gonna go. I'll be back. I'm gonna head for the
What are
ocean.
you guys even doing right now?
I'm doing
It's been
science, Dandil. I'm doing science, and I'm just gonna
It's-
run and jump into the ocean.
I don't think
it's
Professor
been a little while.
this kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
His
So he
science is
just-
flawed.
Just fucks off into the ocean for a minute, where things don't smell like dead body.
Is it more like fish and salt?
Hey, Mandee. Hey,
Better.
the professor finally finds Mandee. Mandee, do you mind if I sit down with you?
No, come play.
Oh, Mandee, I have something I need to ask you.
And
Listen.
so you come into Mandee is playing with like some kids
Do
who
you
think
have
that she is also a child because she is fucking like 2 feet tall.
do you have just a second? It's okay. We don't have to go into private. These kids, it's fine.
What?
Listen, I have a favor to ask. If it ever, wherever this is going with all of these schmucks that we're with, if it ever comes down to it, and we decide that the best course of action is to off ourselves, I'd like you to be the one to do it for me, because I don't want any of these guys doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Out of respect for your talent and skill.
I
Think
would
you
pick
could-
me too.
Could you do that for me, Mandee?
I mean, she is a little ball of murder.
If it comes to it, you're the only one I really trust to do it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Not even the doctor. It's just it's a little dark.
Well, of course I'll do it.
You're great, Mandee. And then he just immediately drops it and goes to playing with the children too. Very, very sweet, very just whatever her demeanor is.
Just look, I have a
Sounds about
firefly
right.
made out of wood. You know.
Yeah, he starts showing the kids his collection of insect figurines.
And
And I can actually use a new one. So I toss a couple of what looks like pebbles out on the floor in front of some of the kids that are playing, I assume maybe with a dice game or something of that, marbles. So I toss a couple of like small pebbles and they start to like come alive and wriggle. And they begin like silkworms, like mending clothing and shoes on the children as we sit there.
You soon notice that Dandil and the owl are sitting amongst the children, clapping along.
The kids are like, "Oh,
Love it.
gross! Yay!" These
Woo!
kids are fucking weird. They're like, "This is disgusting! Yay!"
I mean, kids like gross shit.
They sure do.
Does
And
the
so,
owl vomit in front of the kids after they say that?
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not for a while anyway.
Okay.
Because eventually it does go out and eat some shit. And then, after, because there's bound to be rats after a massacre, right? And rats live in buildings, and so their homes are gone. So there's some rats out there, and the owl does eat some. And so after a few hours or a while, I don't know if you've ever seen an owl pellet, but that's after an owl eats something, and it digests all of the meat and all the fat, but it leaves the flesh and the bone, and it becomes this little disgusting necrotic stone that the owl pukes out. And so eventually you guys see one of those, and you get a very similar reaction from the children, which is, ugh, yay!
Maverick, don't eat that. It's bad for you.
Sounds
to make
about
us
right.
dissect
These
those.
children seem
Great.
inebriated.
That's what I should have done. I should have fed one of the stones
Yeah.
to a rat.
Or a child.
Hell no, definitely not that.
Hey, it may have done nothing. Who's to say the gastric juices would help it grow? You never know. But if you had a
You're
bloody
right.
stool, that might do it.
I need to implant the stone into the rat. Thank you. Good point.
Very well. Okay, so after after a while, you guys find yourself very tired, and like most of the rest of the town, you are in the citadel, which has been guarded by these knights, these guards, and after just finding yourself asleep, you all wake up inside of the citadel, cold. There aren't many blankets to go around, and what blankets there are for the injured and for the women and children. Mandee, you are offered a blanket because you
All
seem
right,
to
everybody
be
who's dying,
seem
get
to
in the
be two of
pyre.
those things.
Everybody who wants to sleep, get in the cuddle pile. There's two piles for dead people and for the cuddly people who want to sleep.
I think Julian plans on getting drunk enough to fall asleep. Doesn't matter. Period.
Like
He's just
he gets
killed a lot of
he
people.
gets fucking
and he's just getting hammered now.
Julian, before he makes his way into the fucking into the citadel, kicks over some of the rubble of what used to be the golden shell, finds himself a bottle, brings it into the citadel, just chugs from this bottle of grog for a while until he passes the fuck out. Yeah, and that's the thing, bud, is you're tired because
Yeah.
you just spent the whole night like
This
you
in
did-
America, I would have just done like $250,000 worth of work in like 16 hours.
What'd you
This would have
would you
been
work
like my
on two
retirement home in
people? What the
Florida.
fuck?
But yeah, right, yeah. Something like at least 20 motherfuckers, yeah.
Right. So you just were in surgery basically for like 9 straight hours, And you come in, you get fucking hammered enough to pass out, and then you do it. He just rock solid sleeps through the whole night.
Just on the dirt, face down, Uncle Gary style.
I think after all of this shit, we would all be tired like that poor bird.
Right.
You know where
I
I'm
mean,
sleeping.
not so much you. You know what I'm saying, Gitsu, is you find yourself okay.
Yeah, I'm
You
talking
really
about
don't
like everybody else. Like,
you really don't feel all that tired. You're a little
Of course he's not
exhausted.
tired. He didn't do
You're
anything.
I did a
you're
lot. Fuck
mentally
off.
mentally you're tired. Physically you're good to go. But eventually you do settle into sleep.
I feel like I could
Uh,
run another 10 miles!
You broke a guy's ribs. That was it.
you settle
You
into
still didn't
sleep
do
like
shit.
somebody who is in prime condition can do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you feel okay, and eventually you just knock out. Y'all wake up in the morning. There's some hustle and bustle, and there are a few big pots of probably soup going, and
The mystery meat.
right.
That's
This
turtles
tastes like
leftovers.
people. But yeah, you actually see several old ladies,
It tastes like Aunt
um,
Agnes.
and they are,
Oh,
and
dear God.
they're cooking up what looks and smells like turtle soup.
Too close to
Oil
home.
green.
And
Can I catch some fish before I come out of the ocean?
absolutely, I
Damn,
would
Then I
even
that's
will.
make you
I
roll
will.
for it.
I come up out of the water with just a line of fish, probably about 6 or 7, and just walking towards the where the party should be.
Just like on his fucking trident, like on the tips, he just comes in,
And to be
tosses
clear,
them down. Like,
I look like a supermodel. Like I runway walk out of the ocean.
Hey, watch
he
you seen
does
over here.
he does the thing where he like shakes his hair out, and when he does, it no longer looks like shitty wet. It just looks vaguely wet. Like, you know what I mean? Like how they spritz your hair down at a fucking
Yeah,
photo
like I
shoot.
just spent $120 at the salon. Like this is the look.
And he rolls in, tosses some fish down for the old ladies, I would presume, or for whoever.
No, these are my
And
fish. I look at their
oh,
soup and I just kind of I look at their soup and I just go, "That's in bad taste after yesterday," and I walk
My
past them.
people.
and so it is the morning time. Everybody's pretty much good to go. The people are starting to hustle and bustle. Some people are getting ready to leave because fuck this place. And some people live here, so they don't really have a choice except to rebuild.
Do we still
Uh,
have horses, or do we need to replace those? Because I remember one got away.
one of them did get away, but you still have one. It is still attached to the cart.
Excuse me, guard. Can I get another horse? The Wizard King was outfitting us for a journey to work on this whole, like, shit.
And as you're saying that, kind of, Cyrena just like the guy's like, we don't really have the resources to, and Cyrena just, no, give them. They need it. They have to go. It's important. And so she
I'll say I'll
manages to
cast
find
friends on a
you.
motherfucker.
She manages to find you another horse, and she tells you that after a bit of rebuilding here, she and her guards plan on going back to Ani.
That's probably best,
Since
considering some type of evil deity is hunting us down and will probably end up trying to kill us and destroy the realm.
and since she's now the queen,
Right. Well, not
May I
yet.
just say, honestly, regardless of the zombies and everything, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I never knew in my lifetime I would meet you. So, good luck, I guess.
She tells you she's just a person. I am just a person. I am just my grandfather's granddaughter.
See, that's the shit that I keep saying. I am just a person. I'm not special in any way. She's the next queen, and yet she's still saying she's not special.
I
Right,
prefer
you're
this version
just a
of her to
person.
hold
You
my
you just wake up, put your pants on, and live in your palace and govern the
And
realm and fight for instance of
she
freedom.
leans
So,
in.
sure.
She leans in a little bit, and she goes, "I am just a person. Maybe the next queen. Maybe we'll see how it goes when I return home. But I am just a person. You."
No, Your
She
Majesty.
She looks at
My
Tanizan and
mother
she
was just a person.
says, "You are more than a person. All of you are. Do something with it." And then she goes out to help them start rebuilding. Also, Snosh, push to talk.
You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before she leaves, as she's walking on her way out, the professor rips half of his notes out that he was scribbling on earlier, the very same ones that he wrote earlier, divides them in half, hands them to Serena, and I say, I am completely invested in reuniting these pages. So I will keep half. You will keep half. And I will see you again someday. Agreed?
You know where I will be.
And that's where I will come find you then.
I'm gonna
That's
get
where
real
we will
serious
come.
for a minute.
Nachi's got her number.
I'm gonna give her that like we're kind of loosely family, and I'm really sorry your dad died. If there's anything you need to do or shoulder to cry on, kind of a speech, but in the pretentious douchebag Julian way.
She tells you you're an ass, but you're always welcome at the palace.
Perfect. Okay.
Come on, guys. Daylight is burning. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I caught some fish, so you don't have to eat any more of that fucking soup.
Oh, but they're gonna serve mystery
I
meatloaf
don't
next.
know. The soup is still pretty good. This is
And
the
I will
next day,
start-
right?
I'm gonna
Yes, it
start
is the
prepping,
next.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start prepping the fish almost like tuna. Or sushi.
You gonna eat that raw?
Okay.
Yo, what is this?
Bring it to us, raw and wriggling.
This fish is fucking raw.
And the circus over here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So, with the rebuilding effort underway, it seems like the people are refocused and everybody's got something to do. But you guys, what is your plan?
I think we got something to do. We gotta move that motherfucking crystal to Mage guy.
Yeah, we start traveling.
Yeah, don't we have to head
We
up
take our
north?
shit.
Oh,
Take
Take
our
our
shit and move.
places
which way
somewhere
though?
else.
River Run. Through
That's
the
River Run.
Ironwood.
Through the
Ironwood, yep.
Ironwood to River Run.
Oh, I know the way to Ironwood.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's right there, and I point over to where all the trees are.
No, it's this way.
Thanks for the gold and
Now
the
listen,
Point
torch.
to the other
later.
trees.
Oh, did we get a
Listen to the
long
short one.
rest? Did we get a long rest?
Yeah, you guys get a long rest.
Okay.
Professor,
Yeah,
do you
thanks for the
think
25 gold and the pet tortoise. We fucking out.
Professor, as we're traveling, I just want to
Yeah.
move over to the professor and just, do you think that happened because we were there or because the Wizard King was there?
Can't it be both?
I mean,
Can't
he
it be?
died.
Can't
He
it,
perished.
aren't we all, each and every one of us, by random happenstance here? Why did we draw each other to each other? How did that gravity pull us all into each other? Let me. Don't you find that odd? I've been finding that very odd, and it's something that I don't understand.
I just kind of look back at the village in the distance as we're leaving it, and I'm just going to sigh and just go, I just hope our mere presence isn't what led to this, because wherever we go next, we're probably going to bring death and destruction to it.
I mean, the
Well, I'll take
meteorite
notes. And we'll
targeted the
we'll start
God
looking.
King, right?
What's up, Vic?
The meteorite targeted the God King, right? Didn't it fucking
meteorite-
blast him, you asshole?
The meteorite targeted the town. The God King
Oh, okay.
intercepted it.
Oh, okay.
And it spoke to all of us, assuming that we're actually having this conversation. It spoke to all of us. You heard it. We all heard it.
Okay, so
Well,
probably
I don't
was
know if
targeting us
Tanizan
with
heard it.
magic.
I've got his number. Don't worry, he heard it.
You know, he doesn't ever hear anything. As I say that part loud enough for him to hear.
It's okay. Just give him a big smack upside the head. He'll hear it.
He might not feel it, but he'll hear it.
Yeah.
All right? Who's driving the wagon?
That would be me.
Land
Alright, so
vehicles.
Two of the
I
short
actually
folk.
do have handling. I do have animal handling.
Put the
so
two
can I?
puts the two of them, the tall one and the
Yeah, I was
short
gonna
one.
say,
On,
can I give him advantage, which is a help action?
Yeah, that's fine. And
Oh.
right now you're just driving, so it's not a big. I'm not gonna make you roll to
Yeah.
casually drive the fucking cart. But
as they do that, though, I'm pushing off the large piece, that one that kept growing, because if memory serves, they left it in the cart.
No,
It's gone.
I fed that all into. All you
Yeah,
find
we
is
fed
a.
all of
fire?
it into the
Okay,
fire.
cool.
All you
Okay,
find
cool.
is a sliver inside of a woven basket with the tarp over it,
A sliver of the very
glowing.
crystal.
About this big. Yeah.
We gotta bring a sample back to the guy.
All right.
We got the blood vial still too.
All right, fair. I put it. I do turducken Russian doll that shit into other things. That's what Professor's doing as we're driving.
I see the professor do that, and I just kind of smile and I go, "Oh, come on, it was fun. I learned things yesterday."
Good. Let's keep it that. Learn that. Right. I can't even speak.
Julian is
I'm
hungover and
flabbergasted.
pissy.
I trusted you,
Julian's
Zillowin.
just
You didn't
hungover
do
and
it.
pissy. Everything
Julian's
anybody
hungover.
says is pissing him off.
I
He's
hand
back to his
Julian
normal
some raw
self.
fish.
Yeah.
I hand Julian raw fish.
I immediately puke at the thought of eating it.
The professor's
God made it best.
the professor's tiny silkworm pebbles clean up the puke.
It's good,
So-
Doctor. Trust me, it's fresh.
On the way out of the village, you see a couple of guys who are cleaning up by where the old inn was, and they see you heading north. And you notice the road north is not as well maintained as some of the other roads around here. And one of them tells you, you don't want to go through the Ironwood. That's a scary place. But if you have to go, stay on the path. Don't take a single step into the forest. Stay on the path.
Yeah, no, the locals will shoot you if they do.
Don't stop. Just keep going.
Will they shoot you, Dandil?
No,
Dandil,
shouldn't really.
Aren't you from the Ironwood, Dandil?
I'm from all over, to be honest. Me and my people just go to the Ironwood sometimes to trade with the people there.
I'll be honest, I didn't think about this earlier.
Nomads.
I'm a little concerned about the princess. I mean, the king just died. She's just on her own, fucking like.
Don't worry.
cleaning up
She's not on her.
town.
She's got her guard. She's got her royal guards
That's
with
true,
her. Don't
that's
worry.
true.
We'll see her again.
Yeah, that's true.
The ones that survived, anyway.
One thing we definitely should do is try to find those armor pieces.
Don't worry. I've got data. But
All right.
first, we got to get the river run.
Dandil, do you know this Aranis Tenuth that we're going to?
DM, would I know?
Probably not.
Sorry,
That
I said
does
it wrong.
ring a
It's
bell.
how do you pronounce that? Aris? Aris?
Aris.
Hey, Ron.
So
Jaquil!
you don't you don't know her specifically, Your people probably spent a little bit of time in River Run doing some trading and such, but you've never heard of this particular person. And since you were a lot more wild folk than most, you probably dealt with a lot of the wild elves more than you did the more civilized folk of River Run.
I mean, my people had some run-ins with the people of Riverrun, but not a lot. No, I wouldn't say I know this guy. But I know the way,
GM,
though.
GM, I thought you said it was a female. I'm just double checking.
It is.
Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty strong warning. I think we should just stick to the fucking plan on this one. This isn't like the fucking Forbidden Forest in Harry Potter where there's an asterisk meaning like everybody go hang out in this forest every day type thing.
This is where we're having detention.
Yeah, this isn't detention zone. This is get our fucking dicks pushed in zone. I
I,
figure we just stick to the plan.
I clap the doctor on the back and I just smile and go, I'm sure the path will lead us. We just gotta follow the pool.
Hungover elf noises.
I don't think the doctor's feeling so well.
So you got
He had way too much to drink last night.
I didn't have enough
Smelled-
to drink last night.
smelled some bad smells. So you guys know it's about a day's travel or so by foot, and about half a day or so by carriage.
Oh, tight.
To get
Stop
to
it.
River
So
Run.
it's
have no
not going to
Hobbit
take
lunch.
us that long.
You can stop and have secondsies and thirdsies breakfast and still get there on time.
Yeah, though you were warned not to stop.
All right, well, maybe
But,
we
you
don't
know.
stop for piss and smoke breaks.
Do what it is you like to do. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are on the road for quite some time. And a few hours in, you start hearing, just outside of the range of your normal hearing, just a little bit further than I actually heard that, and more into the range of, what's that? Is that something out in the woods? And you keep noticing every once in a while, you'll hear the pop of a stick or the bend of a tree branch, but you never see anything.
Would I know these
and I-
signs by chance?
You would definitely know. You are almost certainly being watched by wild elves.
Is there like a greeting, or is there like a signature, like handshake that I can do?
It's probably more of a, these are scouts, and if we go into the forest, they're gonna kill us kind of thing.
I
Not
shoot
to
at him.
alarm
mean-
anybody, but we're being watched right now.
Like maybe
Yeah.
not you, because you're relatively welcome here because of your people.
Clearly,
But,
they don't care if we know they're here either. They're loud enough that they actually want us to know they're there.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can find where one is at? Because I want to wave at him.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'll be back in just about a minute. Sorry.
15.
I'm not waving. I'm just going to blindly fire Eldritch Blast at the direction of the sound.
Stop.
I
that.
grab his wrist. I try to intercept that.
Why is everybody trying to?
I'm gonna
Because
try.
you're
I
gonna
wanna
get us
roll against
killed.
that.
Well, you're gonna get everybody else killed. I
Jeez,
probably
man.
won't die.
Everybody got a fucking Tina Turner. This man be grabbing his wrist and.
I didn't say I shoot them. I said I shoot in their direction.
We're all level 2. If these guys fucking come
That's
out
a
and gank
bad
us,
grabbing
idea,
game's over.
though.
Upwards. I would like to wrist grab and point upwards. How do I roll that, please?
All right. Neither of you is gonna like this.
No,
Give me
I'm
an
not, I'm
opposed
not gonna
strength check.
I'm not gonna. Hold on. I'm not.
You say you're not gonna resist it? If you don't resist it, you put your hand out. He grabs it and pushes it up,
No,
You
if
shoot
if
a
you feel
fucking bolt of
if it's
necrotic energy into the air.
if it's an opposed thing check, I'm gonna roll it.
Okay.
Did you say strength?
I sure did.
Beat a professor's 12, buddy.
In Eldritch Blast isn't
16.
necrotic though. It's just force.
Okay.
You don't know that about his Eldritch Blast.
That's true. There are many things that can happen to an Eldritch Blast, sir.
Mm,
So yeah, you go to move his wrist, and he just kind of stiffens and then lets one go at a tree.
Zillowin, you stupid son of a bitch.
What?
There
I'm just
is a
showing them we have
loud
magic.
in a world where magic has not exist for 100 years. Well played, my friend.
Jesus.
So a bolt of arcane energy leaves your finger. It blasts, it rages, in fact, towards a tree, and it hits the bark of a tree. You have blasted things with Eldritch Blast before. You now know well enough what it would do to something when it hits it, especially something as sturdy and immovable as a large tree. And these trees are huge. These trees, I want you guys to imagine redwood-sized trees, but of all genuses. Imagine an oak 200 feet tall.
Oh fuck.
Imagine beeches that you have to crane your neck to see the tops of. The
Sorry, I can't
canopy
resist.
is
That's a big beach.
that's a big beach. The canopy is high
That's a
above your
big
head,
birch.
but the trees are all different, but yet the same. And you hit a softwood tree, but when you do, it sounds like the Eldritch Blast strikes a pane of metal. Tung! With that deep thump. And
That's odd.
there is absolutely not even a mark left on the tree. Not even a shifting of the bark. As
No way,
this
it's magic forest.
massive blast of force hits this tree. It just looks like any fucking tree. Who speaks Elven?
I do. I'm Elvish.
I do as well.
Elvish Presley. Okay.
I'm an
Those
elf.
of you that speak Elven, yeah, fair enough. Those of you that speak Elven, you hear attempt to harm another tree and you will die. Keep moving.
I'm gonna relay this to Zillowin so he doesn't shoot anything anymore.
I'm going to tie up his hands and tie them behind his back while he's being told that by Zillowin.
I'm gonna moan on the
Now-
ground
I
like a
don't
hungover
resist.
guy.
I don't resist. I let it happen. I'm just like I was just trying to show them we weren't normal.
That's fine. That's fine. Just relax. Just relax. Just breathe. And I'm like tying my best like scout knot like around his wrists behind his back. And I was like, just chill. Just chill. We'll let you out of this later. Just chill.
In fact, it doesn't just say a tree, it calls it it's easier for Julian, especially since he's more familiar with the term. Takes the rest of you a couple seconds to realize that he says a mother tree.
Oh man. So the elves don't have
what
sex in
is
this
a
world. They get
mother
birds
tree?
from
Right.
trees. That's what it is. They get
I'm
birds
sorry,
from
I
trees
fell
in this
asleep. What
world.
happened now?
Oh.
So yeah, like Julian said, in this world, elves can 100% have sex. They fuck
They
a
fuck.
bunch,
They
but
fuck.
they can't They can't reproduce. They can't reproduce via sexual intercourse.
How many different types of elves are there? Because I know wood elves reproduce.
This is
by
a different
trees like
reality.
that.
This is like
Why
Yeah,
do you
it's
think
different
they call
world.
them wood
Okay,
elves?
just making sure.
Doctor, do you explain this to us?
I don't know if I'm gonna have time to. I'm gonna have to like talk to these tree elves and hope everybody shuts the fuck up. And I'm already really hungover and pissy.
Please tell me he's
And I
like
just heard
referring
some
to them
fucking
in like
magic.
derogatory terms like tree elves.
Oh, yeah,
probably.
probably.
Right.
I am being on my best behavior. I am allowing the doctor to tie me up, but I'm smiling.
It's the professor tying you up.
He might even
Correct.
call them like country elves or some other bullshit like that.
Right. So, anyways, I
Hello,
don't even know how I'm gonna
poverty
try to communicate
speaking
here.
people.
He's very hungover and pissy and pissed at the situation. I'm gonna relay to the elves that our prisoner tried to escape. That's what you saw. Won't happen again. We're moving this asshole to a different place. Don't fucking kill us. That's what I'm gonna try to relate in Elvish.
Okay.
I'm gonna
And
start
then
That wasn't
blessings to your,
magic.
and then
It was a
blessings to
potion
your
he
mother.
threw. It was something that
And
exists in the
blessings
world.
to your mother.
Right? Yes. No disrespect.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
He
Professor.
can have the earwig for the blessings to your mother.
Professor, is
Roll
it
the,
just me or
dirty
they
20.
are not surprised by the fact I used magic?
It should be.
Listen, one fire at a time. Okay, relax. Just breathe.
I rolled a dirty
This,
20.
this is the path, Professor. This is the journey.
Yeah, there's a cliff that way and that way. Make sure we're going between them, not over them.
Okay. In Elvish, once again, you hear Severed One. We allow you to pass through our domain. This path is a gift, but gifts can be taken away. It is still the forest, and the forest is still ours. Go back to your cities where you came from, Severed One, and leave us our domain.
Metagaming.
Dandil's gonna pitch up. All right, and I'll see you guys next trading season. Have a good one.
What metagaming? Where are we heading?
Nice.
River Run?
River Run.
Run.
I'm gonna convey that to the elves. Let them know we're not here to dick about. We're just simply moving this prisoner from point A to point B. And I understand as an elf, this trail is a gift. No disrespect. We
Oh.
all members of the Zulu Nation. Like, you know.
And
Shvantz,
also
okay.
at the mention of prisoner, I'm actually gagging Zillowin too.
Um,
I just
You,
take my own sock off and like stick it
Professor,
like
what are you
around his-
and you guys hear little one. You are welcome. You may enter the forest if you wish. Your companions should move on.
I'm
This will
gonna
be super quick. Don't worry about it. It's in and out. I swear.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna bow to the
Bring us more
elf that is
Ranta next
talking.
season.
Well, definitely. It's a problem.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna turn to the elf that is talking and give him a bow and say in Elvish, "Thank you for this gift."
Oh, this is just a noise coming out of the woods, dog.
I know.
There's-
I'm saying I'm bowing towards where he's talking.
Okay. And yeah, so there's no reaction at that.
Tanizan, do you speak Elven?
Yes.
I'm gonna give the two drivers a big
My
fucking
family,
fuck
my
outta
family
here.
deals mostly with elves and dwarves. I know dwarvish too.
Honestly, I didn't even know you could read.
I am a noble, sir. I
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
formally educated.
For all you act like one, yeah.
No pussyfooting about. Let's get the fuck out of here. We can talk about how cool we are later.
Yeah.
Get out of like fuck you woods right now.
I mean, we're going at a steady pace. We haven't slowed down, have we?
Well, at this point, I imagine you would have slowed down at least a little bit. But yeah, If he so decides, Dandil can crack on.
I gotta crack the fuck on. I tell the horses, skedaddle, skedoodle, get fuck out of here.
Okay. So you don't hear anything for a while. After maybe another hour and a half, I'd like
We
you
still
all
have
to make a
Zillowin tied up.
perception check. Fucking Zillowin is still fucking
I
broke.
got
Zillowin
it.
tied up and gagged in the back.
21.
What was the roll?
Perception.
Perception. 21 for
7.
Mandee.
I got a 12.
A dirty 20. A rare roll for perception for the professor.
Well played.
Okay, so if I understand
But I
this, I've
think-
now been thrown in the back, or am I still sitting where I was?
No, you're still sitting in the
you've
front.
been-
You're just tied up.
You're being
Yeah,
dragged
you
behind
just
the
tied
car.
up and gagged. I gave you your arms back, and as I let you slip back up front because I know that you're driving, Professor whispers into Zillowin's ear, "All right, I'll give you your arms back. You can drive the car. If you do that again, I swear to God, I'll kick you out. I'll kick you out the back of this thing. Understand?
Hold a 15.
That's right. That's right. That's right." And they,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You said a
I leave
13,
the
Vick?
sock on him.
15.
15. Okay. And what did you get, Shaker?
I got 10.
Okay. Professor and Mandee, you guys hear thump, thump, thump.
Those like
Boom.
arrows?
It's like you know the sound of an arrow zipping through air? That's the sound
That's
that
the
you
sound. Oh man, it's all fucking hands on deck. We're getting ambushed. I'm gonna relay the
What?
information.
But it's not coming at you. It's moving alongside you and then back behind you and then back ahead of you, and it's in the woods.
But the elves are clearing the way. I'm gonna give Mandee a look, like what the fuck?
Keep it moving. Keep it
You
moving.
can
Don't
remember
stop.
the joke from earlier and he starts giggling again.
And then
That'll help.
Mandee, since you were the one that hit the target mark, for sight, you see a blur pass by. Maybe 5'10" to 6 feet tall. A little hunched over, and it goes forward, thump, and then back, thump. And you watch, you turn around, and you like kind of notice it, and you see a fucking person, thump, and they stop, turn around, and then zoom past you again. Thump. And eventually, you notice that it is a wild elf, and he's watching you as you leave.
Do any of us notice this, or is it just a doctor?
Just me.
Just
And
the doctor and the professor and Mandee hear it, and just Mandee sees it.
Yeah, we should just get out of here.
I mean, we're going.
Maybe a little faster.
All right, if you say
Probably.
so. Go faster, horses.
And so at this point, maybe another hour passes, and you reach a very large wooden bridge. The bridge arches over a very large river, and then you see the town, well, at least that you would assume, is River Run. It is a huge, bustling town, completely stuffed full of trade. There are people trading animals, exotic animals, spices, wood, stones, There are people trading clothes, weaponry,
Oh,
armor.
sorry.
Everything you can think of is in this town.
Oh man, I want to do a
You've
shopping
reached
trip, but
you have reached
ahead.
River Run, and you
I'll say
know
it.
that the person that you're looking for can be found in a brothel.
I think we gotta go
Brothal's
brothel
at the
hunting
center of
first.
town.
I think we gotta find a
Mm.
guy first before we can do a shopping trip. And
Mm.
hanging out in brothel sounds awesome right now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like 100% ready to like go to a brothel right now.
As you approach the bridge,
Oh, never mind.
it's not like a bridge that goes up and down. It's just solid
It's
bridge.
bridge.
It bridge.
You see a middle-aged human wearing a full set of studded leather. He's got a bow sitting next to him and a sword at his hip. He's got a thick, bristly mustache. No other facial hair. He is otherwise clean shaven, but he does have shaggy, dark, salt and peppered hair. And as you approach, oh there, kind of
Hello.
I need to
halts
know
the
where the
carriage.
candy shop is.
Okay.
Take her to the candy shop.
Yeah, there's definitely one in town, kid. Couple streets that way. Don't know exactly where. I don't really know where a lot of the stuff where you can't buy booze is. What's your business?
Trade.
Do we have a leader yet? Have we established
Like-
that in this campaign?
No.
And anyone's allowed to try to make whatever role they want, presumably, right?
Who's got the best
Zillowin-
charisma? Metagaming. Who's got the best, biggest dick charisma?
Zillowin, your
All right.
fucking arms are free, homie. You can definitely pull that thing out.
It's been in there for a couple of hours. He's just gotten used to it.
Just
You like the
metagaming.
taste of it?
I honestly didn't know my arms were free.
He's
I'm
been
sorry. I
enjoying
pulled it out.
himself. He likes to be ball
He's-
gagged.
He's developed a kink.
Everybody say
Bro.
your charisma. What do we got?
Mine's 14.
Yeah, I got 14 too.
Mine is 14 as well.
16.
I'm at 16 as well. Grits, are you the handsomest?
Grits
It's
is gagged
definitely
right
his
now.
highest charisma.
I pulled the gag out of my mouth as a 19.
I mean, I'm
And
at
I flash a super model smile at the guy and I go, hello, we're here to find Tanith.
I don't know who that is. What's with the gag, son?
It was a joke with the elves.
Forest elves? And he seems like he's chewing on something, but you don't see anything in his mouth. He's doing that old man thing. The elves in the forest don't like to joke around, kid.
I found that out. We're looking for Eris Tanuth. Is that how you say her name? She's a long-lived elf. We're trying to find her.
Oh, you looking for Tiduith? Yep. Yeah, she's in the town. And if you're looking for her, you ain't looking to trade nothing but coin. And
But could you
I don't
tell
see
us where
much in
she's
the
at?
back of that. I don't see much in the back of that cart that you could be trading anyway. Less than it's
What does she
people.
normally? What does she normally trade?
I'm gonna put my hand up. There's some things worth more than coin in this world.
That's true. That's true. And he almost said, you could see he almost says kid. And then he looks at you and then he looks at your ears and he goes, young man, that's true. Tell you what, don't make trouble in my town. You boys be good. And you too. I don't like the look of that coat. And he points at Mandee. She's fucking full on dressed like a pirate.
Yar.
It's
The opportunity.
just a Halloween.
pirate who
It's
likes
a
her
spooky
candy.
time. He's a cosplayer. Relax.
Alright, I want to reach out with my divinity, and I want to cast Friends on this guy. There's no save, it just says it happens, but I wasn't sure what you want me to do, considering divinity.
I mean, the guy just let us in though.
Not
If
good
friends, he can
enough,
visit us
right?
later.
You can. Okay. You cast it. You give him a good smile. And he's like, before you guys go, anything I can do for you?
Yeah, you were saying we needed a lot of coin to deal with Tanuth? Tanuth?
Tenuith,
What
yep.
would you... Tenu with?
Oh, yeah.
What would you recommend? Like, what does she prefer?
If it's coin you got, it's coin she wants. She deals in booty,
She
if you know what
prefers
I
it.
mean.
She prefers it doggy style.
So she would prefer, and I point to the really healthy-looking guy next to me, a night with him.
Oh, she's not the one that spends nights with anyone. Not anymore. Or at least I don't think you've got the coin for it. But she's got plenty of gals. And then she turns and she looks at the elf. And guys, if you want it.
Of course. Thank you, my friend, and stay safe, because it's dangerous out there. They don't like you shooting trees.
Don't I know it? You know, I used to adventure around these parts.
No, shut the
Hey.
fuck up.
Then I took an
So
arrow
you took
to
an
the
arrow
leg.
knee?
Fucking do it.
Get the fuck out of here. Jesus
So I sit
Christ,
on this
bud.
barrel in front of the bridge. Get on in there. Take a couple side streets. He gives you some directions. And
That's why we're in Skyrim,
And
bro.
when you go home this evening, remember to take very good care of your mother. Okay, blessings to you and your mother.
no,
Okay,
my mother
I
shot
would
it.
like to try to do a friendly charm.
My
More
mother
like
I
went
wanna
to
take
the
care of your
forest,
wife,
so she's
considering
dead.
he. More like take care of your wife since he took that arrow to the leg.
I
That's
wanna
appropriate
keep
because I
an
rolled a 6
eye.
on charisma.
You
I want to keep an eye on. I want to keep an eye on this guy as we move the cart away, because as the spell ends in a minute, I just want to see what his reaction is as he's aware something's happened. But since nobody knows about magic, I'm not sure how that's going to play out.
as you guys, so basically tells you his mother's dead and he never got married because he likes the whores too much. And then as you guys as you guys go away, as you're leaving, you kind of turn around as you feel the spell snap, and you see his head crack around. And it gives you like a real dirty look. He doesn't do anything about it because you haven't really done anything wrong, and it seems like he's some kind of town guard. But he's still giving you the side eye real hard.
Just gonna smile and wave at him, and be like, "Thanks for the help."
Smile
Lovely
and
town.
wave, boys. Smile and wave.
I flip him off as we leave.
Okay,
Poor
that was
town guard, man.
interesting.
Poor guy. He was being helpful in
So
the
we're
first
going to
place.
go see a madam. Professor, isn't this your expertise?
What is what now?
We're gonna go speak to a madam. Isn't that your expertise?
A madam of what?
A lady of
Whores.
the night. A ill attribute, like.
What do you talk? Well, I'm a college professor. What are you talking about?
You buy whores. College professors love whores.
When did you what evidence of this have you seen?
I went to college. I don't know. Being dumb.
I was
He went to
I was-
college. He was a young girl.
I was respected. I was in a university. I was a scholar. And the professor starts raging. Why? What is wrong? And I snap and I grab Zillowin and I shake him. What is wrong with you today? You feel like you get us killed. And I take the sock and I start slapping him with the sock.
As much as I'd love
You're
to
not
say,
sure if you
Go ahead.
you're not sure if you cast friends on him a minute ago, because he seems to have lost it.
I don't know. Maybe
no,
he
I
has.
honestly think
I don't
Zillowin
understand.
has lost it because holy
I got
shit.
a 12 on insight as he's yelling at me, but I'm just gonna look at him and smile and be like, we're finally on the path. We're doing it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that this is what on the path is for you, because we almost got off the path back there. I don't know
Because
if you
you
noticed,
decided to shoot
but
at a fucking tree.
we tried to shoot the mother tree.
Yeah, did none of you notice that they weren't surprised that I used magic? And you're getting all excited about us dying. What do you think yesterday was? Zombies in the streets. And just 2 days ago, you all murdered a bunch of just random people. I thought I was playing along. I thought I was
Oh,
finally doing what everybody else was
no,
doing.
no,
And now
I'm
I'm
not.
in trouble. Now I'm the bad kid. Fine, fuck it. And he walks off.
As
along?
you
Oh
guys,
my
as the
God.
yelling,
Go jump in a lake.
as you guys are yelling at each other, you feel a bit of a shake. Not too hard, but just a little bit of almost like you went over a pothole. And you hear, "My friends, we were very surprised to see that you have magic," from inside of the back of the wagon.
I turn around and look and see who's in there.
What else got in there, of course?
Well,
There
yeah,
is,
true.
in fact, a wood elf back there, a wild elf. My friends, we were in fact surprised that you had magic. I can assure you that. It has been some time since we have seen anything not of this world here.
I offer him potato vodka and pierogi. Nostrovia. Farewell. You drink
Jesus.
one to Ukraine.
I offer him a grain of sand, which I've found on the wagon, and I just rub it between my fingers, and I add light to it, and I just drop it in his hand.
And he picks it up, and he just kind of holds it in his hand. And he says, "That is a funny trick." Yes. And he
It's very
puts it in
nice.
his pocket, and he says, "I have a few questions for you. Perhaps I should ask them when we get to the whorehouse."
I take it you partake quite a few times.
Is this our DMPC over here?
I
Have you
don't-
inserted yourself into the campaign right now?
Listen, dog.
Fucking A.
I'm not a huge fan of DMMPs of like player characters. I don't know, but this is an NPC. I am playing him.
You gotta have
all
fun
the
where you
rest of
can,
them.
though. You gotta have
Very
fun where you
true,
can.
very
I
true.
had an amazing time with the bunny man.
So, perhaps we should go and find your whorehouse, and then we should sit down and have a bit of a conversation. Yes?
I'm cool with that.
All right, I could. What the hell? I could use one. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just obliviously driving the cart.
Mandee just offers him a taffy. Taffy?
Oh yeah, I love taffy.
You?
And he'll take it from you, and he goes, "I don't know what this is, but it smells delicious."
He does the little like motion to her hand, like
Like he'll eat it.
Is he speaking common?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Okay.
He is. That's why he has a weird accent.
Okay.
all elves are Eastern European. We all know this.
Apparently.
Fucking love it.
All
They
dwarves
fucking are
Scottish.
now. So eventually,
Welcome to the woods, comrade.
after Bastrovia, after a while, you guys make your way through some side streets and get to a very large multi-story building. It looks beautiful and old. And when you get to it, it is called the Queen's Throne. And he says,
Oh, ho,
"Yes,
ho.
I believe this is the place, my friends." So perhaps, and then you feel a bit of a breeze, and he's no longer there. And you hear, "You should join me inside. When you turn to look, he is standing at the door of the tavern. And it
Hey, who's that
happened
guy?
in an instant.
Dang.
Is it like Mandee's travel?
You physically see when Mandee poofs out of existence.
He
This guy
kinda
just kind of
faded.
like, yeah.
I'ma give him a
It
look
almost
like-
seems like he moved too fast for you to see.
I'm gonna give him a look like he's got big dick energy, and I'm just gonna walk in.
Yeah. We're gonna get the cart parked somewhere safe, and then we'll head in after.
There are a couple of real gruff and rough looking humans outside. They take your horses and they say, "You be staying for the night."
We'll see how things go.
All right. If you plan on sleeping over, you come tell us. We'll stable your horses. Till then, we'll make sure your shit's safe.
Very
Have
good.
fun.
Thank you, gentlemen. I give him a debonair swoop.
I'm
My
gonna
little ass.
I'm
as I
gonna
saunter
I'm gonna kneel down
steps.
to Mandee. I'm gonna be like, watch them carefully. I'm not exactly sure if they work here.
They're just the valet. Who gives
No,
a
no,
shit?
no, no.
They're
I'm
gonna
telling
do
this
free-rider
to.
horses
I'm
around?
whispering this to Mandee.
They definitely seem to hang out on either side of like the entryway. So it does seem like they're bouncers, but I mean theoretically anybody could just stand outside of a nightclub. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? When you
I mean, do
enter
they
the
look
building,
like bouncers? Are they big angry bruiser boys? Or are they little?
oh yeah,
punk
yeah,
ass
for
fuck boys?
sure.
Okay,
No,
like
they're
they have
for
no
sure like
eyebrows.
they're like thick bald boys. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're
with-
like they're hanging out the salty spittoon. Like these are some bruiser boys.
All you need is a red
It's not-
jacket, and people
not
will just
Junior.
hand you their car keys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just hand them the horses. We're going to the whorehouse.
these guys definitely look like somebody found two guys that you don't want to find in an alley, and they were like, "Yo, will you stand in this alley and like not be fucked with for a while, and we'll pay you."
Sounds about right.
That's basically what these guys look like.
We're
These
gonna have
guys
to
look like
bring
they
a
beat
big
people
ass
up for
package
money
inside.
like a couple
Inside.
years ago.
Inside,
Oh.
I am actually going to double check, and I will go up to one of the attendants and ask if they are legit bouncers.
When you enter the Queen's throne, you are immediately met by one of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. Elven, fair-skinned and light-haired, with light eyes. She says, "Welcome, masters. Welcome to the Queen's throne. My name is Tina. And if you go inside,
Pass me to Tina. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. We gotta get this package in here, right? We gotta get like the fucking babushka doll in here to like show the head horror what we found. That's the
oh, that
in-game
is still
metagame.
outside. Yeah, that is still
So-
outside.
We need to communicate with these horrors somehow. That's what needs to happen.
And this
So-
bitch is
okay.
real like 1001 nights like clothing kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the harem pants and not too much of a top going on. And so how do you go about communicating this?
I'm gonna whisper in her ear to ask for kind of a Karen move, but like her manager. But I'm gonna do it in such a way that a rich guy does it, where it's like I know the VIP access, and this is like me getting my foot in the door to like go to the cool people party, because I've got like 100 years of experience doing that as a rich kid. You know what I mean?
So
I'll be like, "Hey, where's the
as
cocaine at?"
as
know,
everybody's
you know.
okay, roll me roll me a persuasion check. And in fact, roll me a persuasion check at advantage, and I'll tell you why in just a minute.
I got a nat 20 on the first one. I didn't roll the
Oh,
second one
titties,
yet,
all right.
but she knows what a
Yeah,
cocaine at.
No worries. When she's kind of leaning away from everybody a little bit, but when you lean away, she kind of leans in. and you get the sense that she's not super pumped about not elves.
Okay.
And when you tell, you kind of lean in, and what exactly do you say to her?
Oh, okay. This is a tough question to answer. I'm gonna basically say that, like, ignore these guys. Like, this is just like an elf on elf thing. Like, I'm looking for something a little special, and I need to see her tonight. Like, I got everything
And
arranged, and it's gonna happen.
when she says, when you say it's kind of an elf on elf thing, she leans in and she says, "It can be.
Yeah.
But first, I suppose you want to talk to the lady of the house? Your friend came in just a minute ago, the handsome fellow over there." And she points over, and you see in a big booth, all by himself, that crazy, like, wild elf. And she says, "He's right over there. Why don't you guys order something? Have a seat, and I'll tell the lady you're looking for her. I hope that'll do."
I'm gonna graciously accept, but then try and communicate that there's something in the cart that's a gift for her as like payment. And it's like, how sometimes we give like whores
Okay.
like, fur jackets or like bags of cocaine or things that aren't just money. Like, this is something special for her that I brought.
When you speak to her, when you wish to give her the gift, you go ahead and you talk to this gentleman over here. You see a guy just, again, another one of those like burly looking dudes, and he's just kind of chilling next to the bar.
Okay.
He's not drinking anything. He's not eating anything. He's just kind of standing there leaning against the bar counter. She goes, "You talk to Bernard. He'll go get it for you. He'll bring it in. If one of
Perfect.
you needs to get it, he'll escort you out and back in. Until
Perfect.
that time, there's your table." And
I'm gonna join our
the
old friend at the
whole
table.
the whole time as she's leaning in, she just kind of has like one hand like on your chest. You know what I mean? Especially since you're like, you've been through some shit, but you can always tell when someone's rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it don't hurt that you're wearing a doctor's coat. You know what I'm saying?
I look like old money.
Right. And so as you stride your way over, and the rest of your friends kind of saunter because they're classless fucks except Ginsu.
The
You
red
see
light.
this guy already has a drink. He's already sat down, and somebody is bringing over a flagon of wine and a few like cups, and ready to take any further orders that you have.
Tight. What was the bruiser boy's name? The number 2?
Bernard.
Bernard.
I might come wave him over when we get our drinks.
Mandy
And
wants
he
to
does
order.
it.
Go ahead. What was you saying?
Yeah,
Glenn?
yeah.
Mandy wants to order like whatever the closest thing in spirit is, like to like macaroni and cheese.
Like a breakfast shot? Like a butterscotch
love
shot?
Mandy.
Like some weird girls thing?
Like
That's awesome, man.
spirits? Like she wants to get drunk on macaroni and cheese? Is that what
No,
No, the
She
closest
wants
thing
actual
in
macaroni
spirit
and cheese.
to macaroni and cheese.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. No, they definitely can bring you some like I almost want to say like au gratin potatoes, but that's not even right. They just bring you this like really cheesy, like herby casserole dish and set it in front of you. It's really good. It's really nice. It's not quite noodly like you would expect, but it's a good time. It's as close to like mac and cheese and tendies as you can get.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
What's his name? Garrett? Gareth?
Bernard.
Bernard.
All right, I'm gonna wave Bernard over. I know he's
Okay.
not drinking. Order a shot for him. he doesn't have to drink it. And I'm gonna flip him a
Right.
gold coin, and I'm gonna do like
Oh,
the.
he'll
I'm
take it.
gonna- yeah, he'll take it. Of course he will. So I'm gonna reduce that. And I'm gonna communicate. This package needs to get here the moment she does, and if it doesn't, like, you're gonna have to pay more than that gold back. This is like worth more than your job. But you've been in this situation, and you're security guys, so you know what the stakes are. Kind of a situation talk that we're having,
Okay.
respectfully.
He's like, I would have taken nothing or a silver, but yeah, I'll make sure that shit happens.
Like, it's gonna
You need
happen. I
anything
gave you
else?
gold, it's going down. Yeah, keep the drinks and food coming. I communicate.
Okay, so he like gestures at the barmaiden. There's like in fact, you notice a strange trend of a lot of elves, male and female, and a few like halflings as well. And yeah, they just keep you guys entertained. They keep the drinks coming, and so you guys are there for a little while before anything happens. During this time, your wood elfin friend turns and he goes, "So, my friends, is there anything you would like to tell me? Is there anything you would like to ask me?"
Actually, I gotta go in about 15 minutes if that's okay with everyone.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Well, I mean, what do we know about this guy? He's just some fucking hobo from the woods. Do we trust
He's
him
a
as far
fucking-
as we can throw him?
Far as you know, he's a wood
He's-
elf. That's all you know.
And he's one of their scouts. We determined that earlier, right? So
He
he
may or
holds
may
a
not,
rank.
right. He
He
may
holds
or
a
may
rank
not be
amongst
one
the
of the
people.
guys that was like talking to you earlier. He's not. He's decidedly not the angry voice that was talking to you before. His voice is a lot lighter and calmer than that voice was. So he's not the guy that was yelling at you guys when Zillowin shot the tree.
Any
It
way we
is
can get him drunk and
still
interrogate him?
it is still very likely that he was with them, though.
You know what I mean? When you get someone
Maybe.
drunk and they start telling tall tales, and you can tell whether or not they're bullshitting pretty quick. Is there any way I can ask him something to try to like ascertain whether or not he's a bullshitter or lying to us? Just in
Well,
general.
he did ask you if there was anything you wanted to ask him. So, what would you like to ask him?
Up to you guys.
Just, if you have an idea, go for it. I was
Hey,
just
what's
gonna
your
push
name?
Zillowin at him. That was my response, was to push Zillowin. Here's your chance. I ungag Zillowin.
All right, you know when you go to a job interview and they ask you what kind of animal you'd be, and it has nothing fucking at all to do with the job, but more to do with like what kind of person they are. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And like you can tell right away when they're lying because they're trying to be professional. Because it's like a subject that's like not really professional. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm gonna try the same thing here. We're at a whorehouse and we're drinking. It makes total sense. I'm gonna ask him, okay, what's your ideal woman? I'm gonna try to like perceive whether or not he's bullshitting us right off from the get go.
Women are not a luxury that I have had in my life. I can tell you this much. My ideal woman, however, would be very strong, very capable, very scary. I like a strong woman.
But friend, we're here at a house of reprieve.
He
These
likes
are the
that.
kind of women who are known to be dominated.
He likes
I don't
that
think
mommy
you'll find your
energy.
type here.
Yes, perhaps, and it is not often that I come into the town. But when I do, a place like this is very friendly, especially to one of my kind. They know whose woods they live in.
I'll put my hand on the doctor's shoulder and I'll go, I'm sorry, I don't think you understand what a whorehouse is. They cater to the person. So if he wants to be dominated, if he wants to be humiliated, if he wants to be with a strong woman, they can provide that.
Yeah, but this isn't like an orc whorehouse. This is like elves and shit in here.
You don't think elves could be dominating?
My friend,
Not as
my
dominating
friend.
as an orc.
Again, I think you misunderstand.
Elves get
No.
consent.
I'm not
If-
saying I'm not saying this is what you want. I'm saying this is what they can provide. They can provide a wide range of anybody's like fetishes, for lack of a better word.
I don't mean to diverge. I think I've answered the question. I think we can trust this guy in that. I don't think he's overtly lying to us. Does that make sense?
Right. It does not seem as though that was a false answer. I will tell you this much. You don't even have to roll for it.
I ask him his name.
My
Perfect.
name is Aramil. Aramil. Aramil.
Aramil, what is your rank?
I do not exactly have a rank. I am seasoned, I suppose you could say. I have passed the tests, and I am trusted to guard the forest. There are very
And
who are trusted.
I defer to Owlboy.
In fact,
Excuse me,
as you guys look at him, you notice it seems as though he is wearing completely normal clothes until you see a little bit closer.
He's the
You
weird duck.
notice that his clothing seems to be made of leaves and other like foliage that is kind of camouflaged to look like regular clothes. He has a bow strung
shit.
at his back that looks like it's made of living wood, and
Julian didn't take that.
even the quiver on his back seems strange because there are no arrows in it.
Oh wow, he's got some like magic elf shit. Past security guards.
Earlier, I handed you something, and you put it in your pocket. May I see that now? May I please see
Of
that?
course.
Good trust test.
And he sets his hand on the table and he lifts it up. He doesn't reach into his pocket, mind you, but he sets his hand on the table and he lifts it up, and there is the grain of sand sitting there, which he almost immediately covers back up. And he says, "Magic, my friend." And when he says magic, he gets real quiet. Magic, my friend,
Oh man, it might be time.
is a
You go ahead.
rare thing. So I suggest, and it's like stuck to the palm of his hand as he like closes it. And he kind of puts it back into your hand so you can look at it, you know. He says, I
Alright.
suggest you hold on to that. Unless, of course, you wish for me to keep it.
I will let you keep it if my friend Dandil here trusts you.
Okay.
I mean, these guys are. I mean, they've been good to my people before. I don't see no reason not to.
You are good little folk, very trustworthy. The only folk we trust in our woods.
Oh, I know. Actually, have you seen my people? I kind of got separated, no?
We have seen a few, fewer than in normal years, much fewer of your age, and some of your warriors were missing as well.
A lot has happened recently. A lot of bad things happened.
But, like your people, it seems that you have moved forward. Your people still trade with us. They are still alive. This I promise you. We will see them again in a few months.
That is good.
That they have
That's good to
promised
know.
us.
Oh man.
When the
Alright.
Granta move back
Daniel-
this way,
Daniel just
they
kinda
will
seems
supply us with meat.
he seems a little bit happier, but like sad at the same time.
Yeah, because those dudes real died a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. I got a plan here. I'm gonna order everybody a round of shots, bing bong, at the strip club, and then I'm gonna get real hard sociopath on our buddy here, and I'm gonna
Okay.
speak in Elvish in a low tone. Only me and him here. I'm gonna get real close with my arm around his shoulder like we're friends. I'm gonna squeeze
Okay.
and pinch his nerve like if you fuck up, I'm gonna hurt you right now. You ever know that move?
Sure.
Like, let's be buds. I'm like, all right, so you trying to fuck us or these whores? The fuck you doing with our party right now? You trying to goof around with us or you trying to hang out? In Elvish. And whatever the
Okay.
vernacular would translate to. Like, are we gonna trust you right now or are we gonna fucking throw down, you know?
So you speak like frou-frou Elvish, right? Because you're from the
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
He speaks like Appalachian Elvish because he's a fucking wild elf.
It's a hillbilly.
Right. And when you do that, he doesn't flinch or anything, but he
I was
says,
gonna ask how to roll intimidation.
You can. You can if
Okay.
you like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll intimidation. This is like you wanna fuck with us? Like, here we are. Well, the 9 didn't roll so well.
Okay.
I'm more drunk than scary.
So
It's
he
only
beat.
it's only a tad below average. Remember.
That's true, but he beat you on the
All
die. But he goes, my friend, there is no need, and he continues on in common. There is no need for intimidation tactics. I am here to discover what is special about you. You see, because I see kindred spirits in you.
All right. I'm gonna give him the
Do you-
apologies and be like, we are going through trying times. I apologize for such tones.
When he says kindred spirits, he like raises his eyebrows, like, hmm? Do you
This
see what I
motherfucker
mean?
part guard too. All right. Okay, I'm gonna give him the double eyebrow bump. Morse code. Yeah, I know what's up.
I can sense it in you, and you may be able to sense it in me as well. Perhaps
Can we? Can we do perception to sense it in him?
you can roll
Roll
me
for eyebrows.
your divinity score.
Or you could take a hold of that stone that Tanizan has.
No. Why not?
That's
What is that
also
divinity
true.
score? How do you roll divinity score?
So yours, I believe, is stamina plus your proficiency, which should be 2.
What's
So your
stamina?
stamina modifier.
What is stamina? What's the base stat on that?
You want Constitution?
Oh, Constitution. My bad.
A Constitution +2 kind of a thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
So as the professor says, take
Rolled
hold
a
of that stone
22.
that Talizan has, I'll actually reach into my coat and I'll pull it
Oh
out
shit.
with a gloved hand so it won't glow.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, that
I thought the
stone
guard had
glows
that.
like a motherfucker.
Oh
What is
shit.
the
Doesn't
other stone?
No,
the
I'll
magic
set it on the
stone?
table so it stops
Right.
glowing.
Gloved hand or not, gloved hand just means you don't fucking pass out, and I don't make you roll a Constitution check because you're not making skin to skin contact with it.
Uh-huh.
That stone is glowing so fucking bright as you take it out. It's vibrating. That's how hard it's like glowing right
Jesus.
now.
Oh shit, we fucking with some old god right here.
No, you are 6 fucking godlings sitting around it tightly.
Oh, true. But he might be a 7th godling. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to decide right now.
It's very possible, yeah.
I think it's very likely. Well, I'll say is I rolled a 22 on whatever that was. That roll.
Okay. Now, with your
5
22, you can sense every fucking one of these asshole sparks. Their spark of divinity. You can feel it. And you feel one coming from him as well.
Okay. I'm gonna give him the like sorry I hard broed you speech in his ear. Like sorry I hard broed you. Like we bros, like I know you're fucking part god too. Like I fucking sense it. Like shots and drinks and horrors on me tonight. bury the hatchet kind of speech.
I only have one question for you all. What gods do you come from? What are you
We'll
the
go on the
gods?
table. I don't want to go first.
And he says it real quiet too. He's like, "What are you the gods of?" Because if you like, I can go first.
Yeah,
My
I'm gonna
name
give
is
him like a
Adam.
head nod, like maybe you should go first if you're bringing it
I'll
up.
nod for him too. Be
He's-
like, yeah, you
says-
should go first.
He says, "My name is Armel, and I am the god of speed."
No wonder
Oh,
we
he was
couldn't
the
see
guy
you
tracking us in
move.
the forest.
That makes a lot of sense.
He's gonna be a good NPC. God of speed, wow.
I'm the god of travel.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I'm the god of animals.
Animals are fun too.
And he nods at each of you as you say that.
I have a question for your iron crafters. And
We
that
do
should
not
tell you
craft-
who I am.
We do not craft iron, my friend, but iron wood.
Also, I'm gonna go for now. All of you enjoy the rest of your session. Toodaloo.
Bye,
All right, dog.
Sugar.
Thanks
We
for
miss
joining
you,
us, man.
bro.
It was good to play D&D again. Thanks for joining us.
I stand corrected. We can keep going just a little bit, right?
Yeah,
for
after
sure.
I
this,
stand
RP.
corrected. Crafting iron wood. This certainly is my first time in the region.
Of course.
But
So-
you would be able to point me in that direction.
My friend, we do not teach outsiders the craft. But this tells me something about you. You may be the god of invention, or you may be the god of knowledge.
I couldn't help but notice a giant ironwood ship being sailing about the coasts. Now, should I assume that that was taken from you, or that was being shared to outsiders?
You may assume that was crafted by us. We still have need of coin and trade. There are things that do not grow abundantly or naturally in the ironwood. So, some are traded with, but no ironwood is crafted from any but the hands of my people.
Stay silent and listen.
Did we get the introductions done? Did everybody tell them? I don't think I have.
no, you
Uh,
haven't. I haven't, and Grits hasn't.
And I motioned to Zillowin, and I think my friend here definitely had something to say, but I couldn't determine his behavior earlier. It was baffling to me.
You turned to speak to Zillowin. He's not there.
Not there. Okay.
He walked
yeah.
away after his argument. He got like a petulant child, jumped off the wagon and walked off into the crowd before
He's sitting on
you
the
all
under-
got
under-
distracted by the wood elf.
Yeah.
So
He's
all of
acting
a
like
sudden you look
underside of
around
something.
and
He's
he was
acting like a
where
2-year-old.
where is he?
So on the bright side, you were there long enough to get directions to the whorehouse. On the downside for the rest of you guys, Zillowin fucking in here, and you didn't notice until like 15 minutes later, which is now.
It's definitely way
Even though
too
it was
late. We can't
surprisingly
leave.
quiet for like the past hour. No one shot anything or blew anything up or got drunk.
No, we had some
Zillowin's a
drunken
big
and
boy. He can take care of himself.
It is what it is. Yeah, he's not here. There isn't anything
Hey,
anybody
he
else
grew up in a
can do
big
about it.
city. It's fine. Knows how to handle himself.
Wants to be here, he'll be here.
Yep.
And
I guess
he
I can
turns
introduce
to
myself. Go ahead.
Tanizan and he goes, "What about you, my friend? What are you the god of?" And every time he says God, by the way, it gets real quiet.
Really nothing special. I'm just the god of vitality. So nothing too intriguing.
And this is nothing special to you?
I can't do
Being the
anything. I can
god?
take a hit. That's about it.
Maybe he'll listen to someone else for a change.
You are the god of vitality? Of life force?
I guess.
And you don't think this is powerful? Or special?
I
My
mean,
friend, you are
special.
mistaken. I can move very quickly, but I still die like a mortal man. You are something
Across town, Zillowin
very
sneezes.
different.
There's a little ripple under some pond afterwards.
And what of you, my scholarly looking friend? He kind of gestures back to Julian.
To me?
Yeah, you got a fucking lab coat on, though.
Oh man, much one more intimidation check with this guy just to keep him in check. I'm
Would
gonna
he
go.
still be wearing that if it's covered in blood? Because didn't you just operate yesterday?
He might be
Yeah.
extra wearing it because it's covered in, but he's the fucking god of death, bro. He's looking more and more the part every day.
Yeah, and that's gonna help, I think, play into this. So for my intimidation check, I'd like to contemplate my answer for a moment, drink my shot of whatever it is I'm chugging, lean in uncomfortably close to him, face to face, nose to nose, and just fucking whisper death in Elvish. I'm gonna
And
try to
in
intimidate him
Elvish,
here.
in
I'm
Elvish,
looking.
I'll reply, "He's my antithesis."
I'm trying to like look deep into his eyes and figure out whether or not he's trying to fuck with us. Basically, after saying this, trying to see if he's
Okay.
scared. Basically,
You can roll another intimidation check.
oh man, I rolled the exact same thing again. The same as last time. The same one. All right,
Damn,
well, I'm
your
not
dice
gonna
don't
scare this
like you
guy.
today.
Niner.
When you say that, he says death is a powerful thing. And vitality is life force. This is true. But there is a god of life. And he or she is your antithesis, my friend. And he puts his hand on your shoulder.
That's fair. I don't know if we've communicated with this Wood Elf yet, whether or not the God King has been destroyed, but that seems pretty pertinent to this conversation.
When he says that, he does turn and he looks at Tanizan and he says, my friend, this one may be the god of death, but it is not he that you should be wary of.
He's not. I'm
No.
not weary of him.
And this is good, because he may one day save your life. You see, you are the god of vitality. You are pure life force. And what stronger can be manipulated by the god of life than pure life force? To him, you are a battery. To him, you are something that can supercharge him. So be wary.
Oh.
Is the final
Boy.
boss fight gonna be the God of Life? That's gonna be awesome. We have to fucking kill God in order to beat this campaign.
Real talk, I've been waiting for a reason to fucking put that into this game for a minute.
I'm gonna tell you
Let's
this.
kill God. Let's
I'm
kill
gonna tell you
God.
this
Let's
right
kill
now.
God.
If the god of life is an attractive woman, y'all are fucked. I'm going over there.
Well, I can tell you at least one of you guys has met the God of Life.
No way.
I'm gonna leave it at that. But at least one of you guys has met the God of Life.
No way.
Fun.
One of his my evil twin brother.
So,
Wait, what?
Wait,
Did
it's
you-
not my
did he
sister,
really
is
say
it?
that? Did he really say that, Doctor?
I didn't really say that, no. But
Okay,
if you want to know what I'm talking about, in my like 0 session, the bad guys are coming to get me because I was accused of murder. My doppelganger murdered the guy. That's what set me on the path that put me to meet you guys. Basically, there's an identical clone of me with like a really gnarly ass scar in his face, and he's the bad guy. And the king knows that, or did, until he died. And so I may or may not still be a criminal on the run. It's kind of up in the air right now. That's
Oh,
where I'm at.
I am curious if I am the god of vitality. Is my sister the god of life?
who knows?
He's not gonna tell you.
I know he's
Your
not.
sister may be the God of nothing. Like,
I
The
mean,
god of shut up. and
fucking
fish.
Zillowin has like 5 brothers and sisters. They're probably not deities. You know what I'm saying? So, now we have been introduced, my friend. I suppose it is up to me to ask the most pressing question. What are you planning to do with your divinity?
That's a really hard question to answer. RP.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try and save the world. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what I plan on doing with this divinity. I'm not sure there's much I can do right now, but I'm sure it'll come to me when we get there.
It need not be a noble goal. I use my divinity to protect this forest and the people within. What you do with yours is entirely up to you. But just know, to do nothing is to squander a gift.
All right, I'm gonna try one last intimidation check. I'm gonna tell him straight up, whatever it takes to stay alive in a real gangster way, real sociopath rich guy style. I'm the god
Okay.
of death. I'm fucking Trump style. I do what it takes to be the big dog.
Jesus.
That's real talk. Like Julian's only
sling
motivated
dick.
right now to just like clear his innocence, not fucking get killed by the government.
Fucking fair. That is Trump style.
I rolled a 12 that time.
Total?
That's it. My intimidation check's been straight ass all evening. I rolled a 9, 9, 12. That's what I tell them. My motivations are to stay alive, self-preservation. That's what I plan on doing with my power.
And what of the rest of you? And your other companion who left? What are your goals?
Right now, it's to see that my people are safe and well taken care of. Outside of that, I couldn't tell you.
Well?
The professor takes out some other notes that he was writing, not connected to the ones that he gave to Serena, but like other notes, just other math equations, and slowly like rip those out of my notebook and I hand them to him too, just like a little piece. And I just nod.
And he looks at them and he goes, I am aware of numbers and I know some equations. Not enough to understand what you're trying to tell me.
All right, I tap the page and create it so that the ink just starts to kind of shimmer just very lightly, just really light, like the way that LaCroix tastes sweet.
He's converting it to tree math. He's got tree math.
So you wish to bring magic back into the world. Or,
And with this power, if I may,
of course,
with this power, I would see the new Pantheon united. and productive and prosperous and kind. I would see the new dynasty to be something beautiful.
A noble goal? The gods have, even in the past, rarely been united.
Professor, what happened to your
I'm aware.
accent?
Yeah, I just sort of like lost it there. I wasn't thinking
It's
about it,
okay.
and then
We all
of
know
a
you're
sudden I was.
Jewish.
We do not call out accent loss. It happens.
Yeah, it was an unplanned accent loss, but
We are not professionals. Professional
it.
fuck ups.
I sound like a douche all the time, anyways. It's hard to put the douche voice on sometimes.
Professional fuck up. Should that be the name of our little traveling band?
I
Zillowin? Oh
mean,
wait, he's not here. Never mind.
yeah.
Well, with that, I suppose we have spoken as much as we must this night. So I believe I will leave you. It seems you have a very important meeting to get to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him aside and be like, I tried to fucking break check you 3 times tonight, but I strangely trust you for some reason. Can you make sure this fucking dipshit guard security guy Bruiser Boy doesn't completely fuck us over? And I'm gonna let him know about what we have, and like I trust him enough to let him know that we're carrying some super primo cargo, and it needs to get to the lady like tonight.
On my way out, I will make sure that he is fulfilling his role. To
Or at least
you,
it's still there. At the very least, that it hasn't been taken.
and to you all, I bid you good night. But you will see me again. I'm sure of it.
I wish him a good evening.
And he kind of ducks under the table, and it's like almost Muppety in that he like goes down, comes up, and he's on the other side of the table. He gives you a little bow. He walks away. A few seconds later, you see him walking out the front of the building. And shortly after he does, you see the man coming back in with the crate.
Oh, perfect.
As he does, you see a beautiful older elven woman walking towards you guys.
Oh,
And
this is kind of perfect.
at that, I think we're going to end it.
Perfect. We got our meeting with her coming up next time. No fuck ups. We got here with the shit. She can tell us about it now. We're in a good spot.
Oh,
That's right. And then we'll never have
Yeah.
another question ever again.
right.
Well, no more than we
I'm
did.
sure. I'm sure that's exactly how it will go.
Yep.
We got the box of shit and the vial of blood, and we have a limited understanding of how it works. We're in all the great spots to tell her what's going on.
And while you guys are in the tavern, Zillowin is now like doing Eldritch Blast as like a magic show
Oh
in
my
the courtyard of.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that goes.
Like,
I'll be right
come
back.
see the amazing Zill.
I've had to pee for like 45 minutes, so I will
Bro, I
return
peed 3
shortly.
times while we were playing.